What's up, Josie? Is that your mood today? Gray? Is that your lighting? Gray?
Yeah.
And I look like I'm in a
Very
strip
gray
club or
today.
something. Look at my light. I look like I'm in a strip club or cotton candy factory or something like that.
Very
I don't know.
professional.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, very cool. I like it. I like it. Pink and blue. Yeah, just right. Just Salty Joe would like this. This is his colors right here. So this is for you, Salty Joe. Pink and blue. Pink and blue. You know what, Joseph? We don't have much time. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning there in Finland. It's late. So you know what? We got a podcast to record. So I say, you know what? Let's drop that intro.
Nitro is the glory. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast with your host tonight, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and if you are unlucky, the Finnish village idiot, JQ. This is the RC podcast with no name, but plenty of content. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious bench racing.
Yes, indeed. Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 141 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your host, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and to my virtual right is the one, and he's looking really tired, looking haggard there, but we got Beaker, aka Rupert Pumpernickels, aka JQ, and aka many other names in the house. He's probably busy editing, so, say what's up, JQ.
Yeah. I discovered a new drink. Have you seen this before?
No, what does that say?
Monster Energy Mule, Monster Mule. So it's like that mule cocktail, but it's just no alcohol.
Well, I've never had a mule cocktail.
It has ginger in it.
Oh, I've never had a mule cocktail, so I don't know what it is.
They have the various different mules. Moscow Mule and stuff in there.
Well, at least you're not drinking alcohol.
Yeah, no time for that. Well, yet.
You know what? I actually had a drink this weekend. I had a beer, 2 beers at the beach this weekend. I was just like in the water, and I was like, yeah.
Was this the first beer since
over a year? Over a year. And I was just like, I drank it. I drank 2, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not missing nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't you get tipsy or anything?
Mm-mm. I was just like, oh, I feel full. Yeah. Forget that. I'm going back. I even took one into take it into, I was swimming with it, and I just dumped it all out when I got in the water. Wow, I would have never have done that ever before. That would have been illegal, wasting alcohol. Anyway,
what about when I come over there? If I can come over there in December?
I'll have a few beers. I like I said, I never said I'm going to stop drinking completely. But
drop the henchman.
Yeah, I'm sure you drop something. You always do that. But yeah, when you come over, I'll have a few brewskis with you, but not like I can go out and I can go hang out and have a good time without drinking. So it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was all right. It was like, I don't really have the urge to buy another one, to go, to drink another one. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, this is episode number 141. We're coming up very shortly on our 3-year anniversary of doing this, Joseph. So it might coincide. No, it won't coincide with the 150th episode. But yeah, we're coming up on our 3-year birthday of the NNRC podcast. Wow, incredible! Like 3 years ago.
Yeah. You said I look tired. Well, that might be explained by the fact that I was editing a Roll Center video until 6:30 a.m. and then continued at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that
was like 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that's no. You've been up a lot.
Get this. So, you know how normally in setup guides it's like, oh, just go long links and the car is calm. Go short links and it's more aggressive. Like that's it. That's links. Link length covered, right? Okay, guess how many minutes the video on link length, only link length
Oh god.
Nothing else. Just link length. Guess how many minutes it is?
An hour?
And it's no. And it's all like info. It's no bullshit. It's like everything is just information.
Mm-hmm.
In 19
20 minutes?
Yeah,
Huh?
19 minutes. I'm so
Really?
screwed, seriously.
That's a long time to talk about link length.
I know.
That's super science mode right there.
Now I'm doing link angles, and I still, to maintain my schedule, I need to release or finish the link angle and the conclusion to adjusting roll centers today.
Okay.
If I get those uploaded, I'm still kind of on schedule. 2 videos
real
a
quick,
day.
how many more videos do you have to edit before the 20th?
Like about 20.
Well, thank you for your time, for coming on. I appreciate it. You know what? Let me do my spiel here before, and then we can get in and talk a little bit of what we've been doing. But yeah, thank you to all of the NNRC squad around the world. We guys dropped episode number 140 last week. It was just me and Joseph. Check that out. It was actually a really good podcast. We had just laid back and talking. So thank you to all you guys. We can't do this without you guys supporting the podcast. So I greatly appreciate it. Please let's keep the ball rolling. Keep it rolling. So yeah, check out this podcast. Check out 140. I've done some clips. You know, I got excited this week and did some quick clips, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty easy. I'm gonna do some more. Been slacking a lot, but check that out. Patrons of the NNRC, man, thank you guys for all your support. You guys keep the bills, help keep these bills paid in her. Give me a little extra spending money. You guys are coming up Christmas time. I remember you all. Stay tuned for Christmas. We're gonna get you guys something nice for Christmas. Thank you guys. If you wish to be a patron of the podcast, the link is in the Linktree link of this written description of this podcast. So check that out. Every little bit helps. $5, whatever you can afford. It helps us out, helps us travel, helps me travel, because, you know, so it's travel next year, hopefully. And yeah, good stuff. And get new equipment and things like that. Thank you to all the sponsors of the podcast that decided to advertise with us. They are Mayako. Whoa, it's coming on. I'm going to talk to you in a minute about that, but it's coming close. It's September. I'm getting excited, you know, to get my Mayako car. I wonder what Joseph got put on the bottom of the chassis. I hope he didn't put nothing rude. He might have done that just to do it to me. But yeah, excited about that. Beach RC is getting ready for not Wicked Weekend. So I don't know if he's going Southern Nats. Probably too far for him. But when
is Southern Nats?
This month, actually, in a couple of weeks.
That's a good race. Oh,
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
When we went there, at least it was.
Yeah, it was a great race. The track was really good. We'll talk about it in a minute. We'll talk about it in a minute. Shout out to Beach RC, Brent. He's got Masters of Dirt coming up. It's going to be one of the best East Coast 10 scale races there is. It's a lot of fun. I would love to go to that race. If you're in the mood or if you're thinking of going to mod, check it out. It's a great. Every person that goes to that race loves it. So. It's not just about the racing. It's about having fun. And, you know, Beach RC is a brick and mortar hobby shop, man. Support them. They've been a long time supporter of us. Thank you to TNR Fuels. Actually, my mate her wants to get some fuel on her from TNR. So I got to hit up Chris Nelson and check him out and get some TNR Fuels. Then I can run some TNR Fuels when we go to Puerto Rico. Maybe I'll be able to take it. We'll see what happens. Hitec RCD. Hitec. I got my package. Woohoo!
Charger? Or what?
Yeah, buddy. So this charger has a Bluetooth dongle, so I can check my now that I'm going for Operation 115, I need to have a decent quality charger, to go with some quality batteries that I'm going to talk about next week, and quality leads from Donathan RC. You like that lead up. So thank you to Hitec RC for sending me the RDX2 Pro. It has. I'm gonna do a video on it once I test it and try it out and try out all the Bluetooth dongle and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it's supposed to be pretty good. And thank you to the people at Hitec RCD for sending that to me, as well as being a sponsor of this podcast. Tekno RC, another longtime sponsor of the podcast. They have Jared Tebow went down to Phil Hurd, I think this past weekend, and won there. Sun City RC Raceway. U.S. Open, another great race, another race on my bucket list that I want to attend. I believe there's $5,000 up for grabs. It's Tim Lime's race. I'm going to get Tim Lime on her to talk about it, pump it up a little bit.
When did you say it is?
October, I think second weekend or third weekend of October.
Yeah.
I would love to go to that race. IFMAR style qualifying, you know what I mean? IFMAR style, no real classes, I
I
think.
have to talk to him about the format.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Format king over there. Yeah, hit up Tim Lime.
There's still a month. There's time.
All right. Lugs RC Racing tires. They just released their long wear tire and their premium compound. Check them out. They have they've been a long. They came on the podcast early this year. They're really making some moves. That long wear compound is really doing good for them. And if you guys are interested in getting some Lugs tires, you can by going to lugsracing.com and using the promo code NNRC Lugs in all caps, and you will save some money off your order. And that helps the podcast out. That's a small business trying to do things in RC. There you go. That support Lugs, and that helps support the podcast. Hold on for a second. Shout out to manscaped.com. Look, this is a call to action. I need you guys to go get groomed up for Christmas. So you got Christmas gifts coming. You're thinking about Christmas and all that type of stuff. Go check out Manscaped. I need you, and you can use promo code for all of that, and you can help me out. Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, longtime sponsor of the podcast. Shout out to Scooter. Thank you for your support. We have a coupon code for that. Prepare for victory with Papa Willie's Traction Tonic. It's got something for all your needs. Dirt oval, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, drag racing, you name it. It's got something for you. Donovan RC, got my cables over there. Super happy with them. Tested them out. Super customized. Check them out. Get some NNRC ones. That'd be cool. You can get some NNRC logos on it and stuff like that. Show your support. And you get, use the promo code NONAME10 and you'll get 10% off your order for every order over $50. So go to www.drcproshop.com and geek out, man. You can geek right out on charge cables. I didn't know you could geek out so hard. And Racecraft USA, check them out. Get yourself a command module. We have a promo code for that. That is NNRC Squad in all caps, and you'll save 10% off your order. Probably one of the biggest things to hit, one of the most popular things to hit the market this year was the command module. I don't know what the and the mini command module. I don't know what the Racecraft guys have lined up for later, but a cool bunch of people. I like their advertising. I can't wait to hang out with them when we go to DNC. Cool guys. And, finally got my command module. And, of course, shout out to RCGP, JQ Racing, all my JQ Racing family. I know. Don't worry. 2022 is coming, and it's going to be the bad news bears all over again. Me, Greg, this guy right here, and whoever else wants to be a part of the motley crew of misfits. But we'll be running the Mayako cars. I can't wait. And, of course, House of RC version 1.3 is out. Check them out. Fill out your profile when you can. If you want, please, hey, show Connie some love. He's putting a lot of work into that. I support it. I give him my $5 a month. No problem. All right, Joseph. Thank you to all the sponsors of the podcast. Remember, everybody, showing the sponsors some love, shows the podcast some love. Help us out. That, just help us out. All right, Josie. I know we don't have much time. General chit chat. You dude, you gotta. I know you're. Are you still leaving to go to Spain on the end
As
of the
of
month?
right now, then yes, the 24th.
Okay.
The restrictions have actually eased a bit, so should be okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Fully magnetic. See, I'm vaccinated. I can take these scissors and I'll put them here, and they will stick because I'm magnetized now. Well, they didn't stick that time, but anyway.
They actually came to my house the other day to give me the third shot.
Yeah, it's funny, it's funny. The vaccine is like an American sort of power grab of taking over Americans' rights, but we're getting vaccinated in Finland. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, it's this conspiracy theory that apparently it's some American thing, but the vaccination.
It's not just American.
I don't know why they are doing that.
No, it's just not American. My wife thinks the same thing. Lots of people here think the same thing. Like, even in Bermuda, it's not just America. It's a worldwide thing. Obviously, it's the biggest voice is coming from America, but you get what I'm saying. Well, like I said, they came to my house to inject me the third time, so I better go see them and get my third booster shot or something like that, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Inject me with some money. That'd be good too. Or something. I don't know. Enough about COVID. I have done nothing RC. I kind of chilled out this week. We went to the beach on Sunday. It was fun. That's about it. Kind of a chill week for me. I got Operation 115 in the back there. Those who are keen eye can see what I got back there, but I'm not talking about that yet. Waiting on a few more things. I see you trying to look back there, Joseph. Take it easy. But let's just say I'm all in RC boats right now. Speaking of RC boats, right, Joseph? So I'm on a few boat pages. So I was looking, like, I don't really go into many beginner groups and stuff like that in RC. So it's just a boat page. It's got like 12,000 people in it, more members. And I think it's so weird. Like, so I'm going to give you an example. And I think this just real quick, this kind of relates to probably what goes on in the surface world, like RC cars and all this stuff. So like this guy's got a boat, right? It's capable of doing over 100 miles an hour. It's ready to run. It's capable of doing over 100 miles. So it's a Bill Oxidine animal cat. So it's capable of doing over 100 miles an hour right out of the box, right? Just can you imagine something for somebody who knows nothing about RC being able to do 80 to 100 miles an hour right out of the box?
I have a question. Has anyone ever been decapitated by an RC boat? So
No.
there's like people swimming and then some idiot with their
Oh,
boat.
you shouldn't be
And they
running
just-
when you shouldn't be
Has that
running
ever
when people
happened?
running. I don't think so. But anyway, I'm just trying to get to my story. So I've been watching this one guy in this group, and he's obviously a beginner. No, I don't know too much. I'm kind of a beginner with this stuff too, so I'm not asked. I ask questions, but it's rough, man. It gets rough sometimes. Like, so this dude, like, let me just tell you, like, the level of people that kind of got into this. This guy's got, like, this boat costs about $1,500-$1,600, right? He's got this $1,500-$1,600 boat, and this guy was having all these issues with it. Apparently, dude, the amount of wrong responses this guy got was amazing. He had so many different questions. The last question was, "Hey, I'm only getting 15 miles an hour on this boat, but when I hit it in reverse, it's super fast. You're supposed to hit boats in reverse fast anyway, not these boats." Blah 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 blah. People's like, "Oh, you've got to cut this cable from the ESC and do this and do that and switch these wires around and blah, blah, blah." Like 100 different answers, right, Joseph? For this guy. He's like, "I'm selling this boat. It's not blah, blah, blah." Like, this is stuff I'm seeing in racing too, and people freak out and all that type of stuff. And you know what it ended up being, dude? It just ended up being he needed to reverse the channel for throttle. Right? Because basically when you hit the throttle, it was going to reverse. It was, reverse was forward. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you have obviously reverse is slower. So when you hit forward throttle, the boat was going forward, but it was at reverse speed. Dude, 100 and something answers later, this guy freaking out wanted to sell the boat. And I'm just like, I didn't want to chime in because I didn't want to get involved in that. But I can imagine that this goes on so many different Facebook groups and people with new RC cars and all this type of stuff. And I just think, like, if you're going to get into RC cars, you're going to have to be somewhat of a tinker. Or if you're going to get to RC period, you have to be some sort of tinkerer. Like, you have to also be able to use this. You know what I mean? So anyway, to say all of this, guy went through all these issues and got frustrated and had 1,000 different answers from so many different people. And it ended up being something as simple as just reversing a channel on the radio. How many times did it happen to thousands of people? And they're like, "Oh, forget RC. This is crap," and go. You know what I mean? We kind of have to find a way. Like, maybe your course is going to do it. Please put channel reversing in your course or something. I just, like, something so simple. And like, it just blew up into nothing. Like, it's crazy. So I imagine that happens a lot more. Anything else you want to talk about, Joseph, before we get into some RC news?
No, you better hurry up.
Oh, yeah, because he's got me on a time limit. So this week's RC news is brought to you by Hitec RC and TNR Fuels. Hitec RC is a leader in RC systems, delivering the highest performance and reliability, supported by a dedicated customer service personnel. The HSB 938 1TH servos have efficient brushless motors, titanium gears, low consumption, constant output, a metal case, and they also generate power back into your battery when you brake. The RDX2 Pro charger, which I just got, thank you Hitec, can charge up to two 4-cell packs in 45 minutes. It also provides power to your engine and tire warming needs, and I can't wait to use it. Trust in Hitec, your service and charger headquarters. Visit hitecrcd.com where to buy for your nearest retailer. And of course, TNR Fuel, special thanks to Chris Nelson and his family. Love those guys like life. Here at the NNRC, we're all about the glory, and that glory is nitro. TNR Fuels is the hottest nitro fuel on the market, owned and operated by Chris Nelson and his family, made by racers for racers. TNR Fuels is currently available throughout the USA. For more information or to support the company, you can go to www.tnrfuels.com, contact Chris Nelson directly at chris@tnrfuels.com, or find them on House of RC and Facebook and tell them that I sent you. All right, Joseph, not much news going on. Okay, real quick, Surf City this past weekend. Maybe the last Surf City we see, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But Cav Tessman was there too. It was actually pretty good. So let's go over this real quick. So in 2-wheel drive modified, we had Raging Aiden Horn, who's had a damn good year. He won that. Ty Tessman second, the Goat Cavallari third, Rivkin fourth, Renner Connect fifth, Charlie, there's that name, Charlie Majorana. He went to the Nats and kicked that. He did good. He goes to Surf City and he finishes sixth. Yeah, even CJ Jelen was there. Well, he finished, but he's in 10th. Rob Gillespie, Tyler Fencer. Yeah, that's a pretty deep lineup. Dylan Nelson, he races 10 scale? I didn't realize that. Oh, but Westergaard raced this weekend too. Westergaard can't. Yeah, he can't 24.
Did he blow out?
Well, he's second. He's second from last. It was 26 people in 2-wheel drive mod. He came 24.
Awesome.
It gives you some hope, I guess. Cav won 4-wheel drive. Renner Connect won. Cav won 4-wheel drive. Renner Connect second. That's a good podium for Losi. Horn, Aiden Horn third, and there you go, Charlie Majorana in fifth. Wow. Where did Westergaard in 20th?
I just have one thing to say.
What's that? Nobody cares about 10 scale?
No, I can say that there's no doubt where Tessman came from. Ty, that is.
Oh yeah, that was off his Facebook. Man, he looks just like his mom in that picture.
Yeah, and dad actually.
Yeah, it's such. Wow, Gord looks. I like the hat though. I want a cowboy hat like that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Wow. He looks like. Wow, Gord looks like so young.
There wasn't a mix-up at the hospital where the babies were mixed up.
By the way, guys, this is not a private picture. By the way, Ty Tessman posted this saying happy birthday to his mom, happy birthday to Mrs. Tessman. Oh, wow, Ty looks just like her. And Gord. Gord looks so young and strapping. So young and strapping. If you would have met that Gord in life, Joseph, he would have definitely kicked your ass. I think Gord, at that moment in life, right there, if he ever met you, he would definitely beat you up. He'd be like, beat the crap. You're like the type of guy, he'll beat the crap out of you, and then you'd be like, did you see what I done to his fist? My face messed his fist right up. That was my whole plan, to let him hit me in the face so I could hurt his fist. But yeah, I've never seen a picture of Gord so young. You know what I mean? Or his mom. But yeah, Ty definitely looks, definitely, you can see, definitely stemp. So happy birthday to Leanne, Mrs. Tessman, sorry. Brufalo beats Ongaro. I guess they raced at your favorite track in Italy, which is Padova. And man, Barufalo beat him. Barufalo's, I think it's like, you know, like 1 week Barufalo's beating Ongaro, the next week Ongaro's beating him. It's looking pretty good. It's a lot of racing actually went on in Italy this past weekend. Just a lot of racing, period. All over. Who else do we have here? This was something. Oh, Jerome Igon. That's a name we haven't talked about in a long time. This dude won the French Cup. That's not easy. There's some fast guys in France. Was Jerome ever as good as Yannick?
Well, maybe for 5 minutes.
Where is Yannick? Man, that's one guy I want to interview so bad.
Jerome doesn't have the results really. He was maybe faster sometimes, but he couldn't hold it together as well. And he won loads of French national championships, and Euros mains and all that stuff. But yeah.
Yannick doesn't race anymore, right? Well, maybe once in a while.
Yeah, he still races, but not that seriously.
Okay. Alrighty. This is what surprised me the most this week. I just saw it just now. And hold on, let me bring it up. Oh, there we go. Robert Badier to Guimar Engines. Who is this, Joseph? I have never heard of these engines.
I have no idea.
Never heard of these engines. Apparently, they are some on-road engines. So here's it is. Former world champion Robert Badier announced that he's going to Guimar Engines or Geimer Engines. The company previously known in the on-road class is expanding its business to the off-road class and soon will unveil the range of off-road engines through videos made by Robert. Interesting. I could have sworn that Badier was going to go to Ultimate. I could have sworn.
No, they don't have the money to pay him, I think.
Yeah. Well, these guys
That's obviously why he left originally.
Does anybody anybody that listens to the podcast, do you know who Geimer engines are? Let us know, because I have never really heard of these engines before in my life. So interesting.
I don't know anything about them, but I have this thing where when I look at a product, like product design or branding, I can tell if it's going to work or not, right?
I must admit, you do.
Long term. Mm-hmm. And yeah, this isn't one of those.
Well, maybe it's just a matter of,
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like how everything looks. It's just like that. What's that brand that made the Nitro Buggy? They had like these on-road cars. What's that class where they convert off-road buggies to on-road? Rally,
like
they even race the worlds. Yeah.
8 scale. GT.
Yeah, GT. Yeah. So they had a GT car. They made an 8 scale off-road car.
Oh, IGT8.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what that is? That's a Hong Nor.
Well, they've changed it a bit.
Yes.
But just like looking at that, I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. Well,
it just kind of started. They kind of just released it this way.
It won't. So it's just like that kind of thing. So this just has the same vibes.
Well, maybe they offered Robert a good check. Maybe this is long term. Yeah. Maybe. Who knows? I wonder what they're based off of, like Pico.
Well, I looked on their Instagram and they definitely didn't look OS, but he says that OS based. So maybe it's a new engine coming out or something. That's OS.
Man, there was a lot of on-road racing this past week. Yao Figueredo wins. Lee Martin crowned BCRA e-buggy and truck champion. Must be the only European country that races truck.
Yeah, I want to show you something.
Okay, show it to me.
Yeah, go on. What were you saying?
Polito won. Orlovsky went over to Robin Hood, your favorite track in England, and won. It's just a lot of racing going on this weekend, just all over the world. It looks like it's good. Okay,
watch this. I posted this on Instagram. This is one video I'm working on. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
So anyway, so you see there's a coin holding the car up.
Oh, right.
And my question is, what's going to happen when the coin drops if I twist the hubs? Like, the outside wheel wants to flop over to positive camber. Inside wheel wants to flop over to negative in a corner, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm turning left.
I don't know.
So if I twist.
Oh, wow, Joseph. That's actually really good.
So what's going to happen? Now when I start twisting and the coin drops, what's going to happen?
I don't, you're going to flip?
Yeah, now I'm twisting here, the hubs. Mm-hmm. Like that. This is basically simulating what happens in a corner because the tires are gripping and the body of the car wants to roll outwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm simulating that by twisting the hubs. This is what's these forces are what are happening to the car in a corner. So this coin will drop. What's going to happen to the chassis?
It's going to be up. It's raising up. Obviously, it's going up.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you that. But hey, this is the level of effort that's gone into this bullshit.
Trust me, guys, this guy has been messaging me at like 11 o'clock at night, which means it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, dude, go sleep. I've got to edit. I've got to edit. I've got to edit.
We're going over like basic physics, you know, how shit works, how linkage mechanisms work. You know, we're going deep here. We're going deep here in these videos. Do you understand?
Okay, yeah, I see that. It's getting launched here.
We're explaining things so that people.
What is that? It's just like something with a link. Oh, okay, it's
just a link to show like how forces work on a link.
Okay.
And also,
interesting.
Same stuff, you know.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you've gotten really good at that editing stuff, man. Really, really good. So.
Practice. And Google, YouTube video how-tos.
Yeah, for sure. That helps out a lot. That's how I learned how to do all this podcast stuff. Yeah, man. I don't think I have any more news, really. Like, I want to talk about OCRC and I want to talk about Arma, but I kind of want to do that in the rant. So,
OCRC.
You know what? Yeah, that's for another segment. We're gonna go into some Beach RC questions right now.
Okay.
We got a few questions for you. Are you ready for the Beach RC bench racing segment, Joseph?
Yeah.
BeachRC.com, the racers' one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit Racing Tires, Nitro Lux Fuels, and Assault RC Performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Yes, thank you to Beach RC, Brent, Lucas, all the guys there. Brick and Mortar Hobby Shop, long-time supporter of this podcast. We do have an affiliate link if you guys can use that. It's in the link on the written description of this podcast. I greatly appreciate it. It helps us out. It helps Beach RC out. And thank you to those guys, man. A lot of love for them guys. And yeah, good stuff. All right, Joseph, we don't actually have many questions, but we have a couple of good questions. So I'm going to start off with my boy, Hyperfux 2.1. Hyperfux, Fuxx, on Instagram. So I joined the Invisible Speed Coat. To my surprise, I was charged a shipping and handling fee. Handle this, JQ. I don't know who this guy is. Anyway, but he always is funny. He goes, why do we make the rear, this is the question, why do we make the rear of the car softer if it handles most of the load on power?
Why do we make it softer if it handles?
Why do we make the rear of the car softer if it's handling or handles the most load on power?
Well, because that's not the only thing you need, is it? Like, let's say you have a car that the rear end handles all the power you give to it, but it's really loose mid-corner or something like that. Don't have enough rear grip. So you would want to make it softer so it has more grip. Or maybe your car doesn't rotate well in hairpins. The rear is loose, but the car still doesn't steer well. Like, you need it to grip and rotate. Well, you would make the rear end softer. Or the car doesn't handle bumps. You know, that's like, I don't understand the question quite. But yeah, I guess.
He also asks why this guy he doesn't like Max too much. He says, Why does Max keep stretching out every conversation? Lefty is clearly trying to move on. Also, I thought AE drivers were supposed to be clean cut boys. What's up with the hobo? I don't know. Max went to the army and has come back and he wants to grow his hair out. He looks like the Mad Hatter. All right, next question comes from my buddy. I think he wants to keep it private, but he goes, I have a question for the podcast. I'm still struggling with race starts. It seems like no matter what I do, I end up in some tangle and dead last. I've tried falling to last and staying out of the start mess. I've tried driving really carefully, avoiding cars, but someone always seems to just completely take me out. I've tried gunning it to get ahead of everybody, but inevitably somebody takes me out. Is there any sort of particular trick to establish a good position and or hold my qualifying position at the start of a race? He says, if I do get clear, it seems that once I'm halfway done around the track on the first lap, all of a sudden I got crashed into. You know what the answer to this? You race a lot. Where do you like to start? And what do you do when you start off in a race like that, Joseph? Look out for.
Sometimes you just get unlucky, right? But I do believe you also make your own luck a lot. So one thing about these cars is when your car is good, it's the most stable when you're on power. So when there is some sort of tricky situation, you'll most likely, or you will have the best chance of surviving it if you are aggressive. But you have to be aggressive to the right amount and still be precise. So when there is contact, to be on power, counter steer correctly, so you survive it, and you keep on going. So if you are too timid and too careful, you'll always get the short end of the stick. But if you are aggressive, suitably aggressive, precisely aggressive, then you can get away with things. And if someone takes you out, maybe you don't spin out or you don't flip over and you can keep on going. So the early in the race takes more skill and talent than further into a race, because early in the race, there's a lot of cars close together. Things happen very quickly. It's not by chance that, for example, Cavalieri has won the Reedy race. How many times? I don't know, 3 times maybe?
4 times.
4 times. It's not because he is just lucky. He's also very good at that. He's patient, yet aggressive. It takes both things. Like, there are certain moments when you have to be patient. There are other moments when you have to be aggressive. You need to know in a split second which one to be. And that's hard to do. So I don't know if that really answers the question, but it's when cars touch, if you are on power and you counter steer correctly, chances are you'll make it through okay. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I also think, like, this is no offense to the sportsman guys, but obviously the sportsman level is the lower level of, like, you have sportsman, open, pro. I think once you get around better racers and get in that class where better racers are, you have better starts too. But it's just like a start. Like, you could look. There's the old saying: you don't win a race on the first corner, but you can definitely lose one. So I think you just gotta. If you see a window, like it's definitely some luck, but you definitely gotta kind of just make minimal adjustments too when you're doing things, so you don't loop out or anything like that. But good question.
You also have to be very confident in your car. So when you drive enough and you drive the same car enough and you're very confident, then that helps a lot also. So you need a safe car that you are confident in, and then you need to be suitably aggressive in those early laps.
Sweet. Thank you for the question. We have a couple more here. Evan at Osborne. What brand motocross bike does JQ ride?
Kawasaki, of course. It's green.
Gotta get rid of that bike. Benjamin James.
I was actually riding today. It was good.
Benjamin James. Would it be possible to unify class rules in electric classes? For instance, I've seen 2 or 3 different specs to GT12, WGT, I think that's more on-road stuff. But do you think there can be some unified? I think this is for like stock racing or something like that. What do you think about that? Would it be possible to unify class rule? No, I don't. People can't even agree to like do anything. What do you think about that, Joseph? See, I don't know the different specs like GT12 and W28 are all like on-road classes. I don't know, man. You got me on that question. Almond McLean, worst weather you've raced in, Joseph?
Worst weather?
Yeah.
Maybe Charlotte Worlds.
Yeah, I would think that was yours too.
Maybe, I don't know, really, was it the worst weather? No, but conditions, because it was red clay, and the clay was so sticky when it got wet. And on top of that, they didn't have cleaning facilities. Like, yeah, let's not get into that. But anyway.
Really? They didn't have a cleaning facility at the...
No,
I had everything besides that.
It was really not very good.
We raced in rain here, like literally rain. Like it was like at Los Cocos. And
yeah. But that track it didn't get that sticky, did it?
What, at Los Cocos?
It was wet. Yeah.
Not really. The best track in the wet was the one that 360 that actually I've been going through videos. Like I found all these videos on my old phone from when we did our 2017 trip and all that type of stuff. So I'm gonna post them to TikTok. Oh yeah, follow my TikTok, guys. NNRC podcast. And I was thinking about DRC when that track got wet because it was a glue track. It was the most fun to drive. Like you could literally race in the rain on that track because it will puddle up, but your car wouldn't get dirty. It got a little bit dirty, you know what I mean? But it was just like drift action, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
The worst part of racing in the wet is the cleaning afterwards. But I was at this race in China, and it rained in the semi-final. There was only 30 minutes between the semi-final and the main. And it rained in the semi-final, and the car came off just like a ball of mud, right? Like the suspension didn't move. It was just completely a reddish brown ball of mud, right? I'm like, I'm so screwed. And I didn't have a mechanic. I had 30 minutes to fix it for the main. But they had the best cleaning facility ever. So what they had was this like trough with a grill, like a metal grate on it. And then they had really good compressor for air pressure. But they also had water line going to the air gun, right? So you could add water. And so you could just have a mist coming out, or you could have more water, like a pressure washer. So you could adjust how much water you mix in with the air, and it was really high pressure. So I took my engine out, I took my radio tray out, and then I just took the car over there and just cleaned it with a mix of air and water. And then after that, I just put WD everywhere, sprayed that off, and then dried the car with a rag. Then I cleaned my engine and radio tray separately, put them back in the car, started it up. As the engine was running and the drivetrain was spinning, I then sprayed WD on all the bearings. And I was done before the main, like within that 30-minute time. Like I had time to do it, like 5 minutes to go, I was all ready. And the car was like spotless, like it was all clean. It was amazing. They really should have that at all tracks. It's so good.
Yeah. I wonder what they actually had to do that, like compressor with water. Pretty interesting.
No, just normal compressor, but then the gun had water hose attachment, you know? So you had the air coming out, and you could close the water if you didn't want any, or then you could open it a bit and have air and water.
Oh, man. I was thinking about that Charlotte race, and I remember seeing all the pictures coming from that race. Oh, man. That red clay, that stuff gets everywhere and it's dry. You know what I mean? There's dust and everywhere.
Yeah. It's funny story about that race.
Oh,
this is so stupid. I mean, I remember Jay Halsey was the American team manager, right? I bet he hated me, at least at this race. So I was Finland's team manager. Then the rules say that in practice, the fastest guys, they go in the first heat. You know, that's how the worlds are. heats 1, 2, 3, whatever they are, the fast heats. So he had told the Americans that they have to practice. Practice was like super wet, right? So just hobby drivers and the Americans practiced. Like none of the fast Europeans or anyone else even practiced. Like, what's the point? So because they practiced, even though their results were like 3 laps, 2 laps, 5 laps, right? For some of them, they had good seeding.
Oh.
So then the next day, they started in the early heats in the morning, right?
Uh-huh.
And the guys who didn't practice, they started in later heats. Well, in the later heats, the track was more dry, obviously, because it didn't rain. So he was complaining about this in the team managers meeting and wanting them to change it. And then I just said, like, look, these are the rules. We all had the same rules, and that's why we didn't practice. So now after the fact, you want to change the rules so that your guys don't run first? That's not fair. If that happens, that's not fair. The fact that you didn't know the rules and you went to practice, that's not our problem. And that's not unfair. That's your bad, you know? And then they ended up not changing it. But it was close. Like they were going to actually change. I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
Really?
Yeah,
you have some funny
that.
stories from that race, period. One last question from Captain Carl. What's up, Carl? How you doing, good buddy? How about a show getting into contracts of pro racers? Every kid in America knows what LeBron makes. What these guys make is pretty vague. What is the average paycheck for a chassis sponsor, etc.? I know it's not a question. It's just strange. There's no transparency in the income of professional RC drivers. I actually happen to 100% agree with the captain on this one because I think it's cool. Everybody wants to know what they make. So let's take probably the world's top driver right now and break down his salary real quick.
This is actually something that I wanted to, or I will. I mean, I want to. I haven't done this video yet, but I want to include this in the course. So anonymously sort of get really up to date and accurate details on how much you can make. I know some drivers well enough to where I think that I can get this information. And just, we don't need to name names, but I can put sort of top tier driver, the next tier, and then sort of the semi-professional level kind of guy. You know, like 3 tiers of drivers. So I want to get that information. But yeah, we can go over it.
Let's just do a quick breakdown. All right, so let's take, what do you want to like use, a Ryan Mayfield or Cavalier? Let's like top echelon racers like them.
Yeah, like on the Falk, like the winning guys.
Yeah, so I would say like in a case like with Mayfield, we kind of know that Mugen don't pay him much, you know, but that doesn't matter because he gets continued. See, so they got us. So he got, like for Mayfield, he'll get a salary from Mugen for chassis. He gets
I would
a salary.
say that chassis salaries are maybe for the very top guys, like $2,000 to $4,000.
Really? Not for Mayfield with Mugen because he's not running.
No, but he runs 10 scale too. So let's say he has a brand where they have both.
Right.
So
he makes about
like
$4,000 for both. Yeah. I think then his next big check, obviously,
let's not talk about him, right? We are talking the top tier, like Mayfield, Cavalieri,
Okay, sorry.
On the Falk. Right.
All right. So then tires, I would say, is probably a big paycheck for these guys.
Tires, I think there are less paid drives now than before. It used to be big. Now, I don't think so. Like, yeah, I think some drivers, yes, are paid by tire brands, but it's not as common anymore, you know? It seems like the tire brands don't need to pay as many drivers anymore. So it can be just free tire, like no salary, maybe some bonuses, and then all the tires you need for free. Or it could be some travel, or there could be a paycheck, like anything from 500 a month to 1,500, you know?
I think they're definitely, I would agree with you that getting paid drive with tire wise is not as much as it used to be. Then I would say servers, some guys get paid by radio companies. I would say the guys running for Taba maybe you're getting paid.
I think
Not-
servos are much lower.
Mhm.
I think we are talking like a few hundred a month,
Mhm.
or something like that.
So we're fuel, motors, engines. I would say
Fuel-
engines are probably the biggest.
Fuel and
Yeah.
engines can be more again. So I don't know, for those guys, like maybe 1,000 to let's say like 750 to
1,000.
1,500 a month, something like that.
And then you got to remember, then I doubt that they get money from but I mean, whatever they represent, they get some sort of paycheck, probably not from their car painter, but their body painter. But if they're running something, maybe they don't get a salary, but they get contingency. I would say maybe a top tier driver right now we're making anywhere between $8,000 to $12,000 a month salary.
I would say maybe 7 to 10.
Okay. Really? No, yeah, maybe no. This was a couple years
like
ago.
that.
But
Yeah, I would say 7 to 10 would be the upper limit.
yeah, but where they make, but where the other things come in is that a lot of these companies come together to provide travel money, and also where these guys make their money is in contingency.
Yeah.
So wherever they finish, they get paid. I would say
Yeah.
most if they're running a sticker on their car, they're probably getting some sort of check. Like if it's not salary, it's contingency. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I would say that my guess would be that of all those sort of top tier guys that you can think of, probably I would think that it's more likely that they make like 5 to 7 a month
Yeah,
than 7 to 10. Do you see what I mean?
probably. Yeah,
That's my guess.
And then people be like, well, and the thing is, all right, well, I love to make $5,000 to $7,000 a month, but some people, that's not a lot of money. I make more money doing this. Yeah, but then guys have to pay for travel. They don't have to pay for no RC stuff. If you just the average guy just stopped and thought about how much he spent on tires and travel and RC stuff, he'll realize how much money these guys save. They don't have to pay for that stuff. They actually get paid to do that. So it's so they can have money to buy houses and all that type of stuff. But yeah, it ain't nobody out there getting like $25,000 a month or $1 million a year and all that stuff. It may be a few guys up there in triple digits, but that's about it.
A few of the drivers, I think, can make in a good year where they win a lot of stuff and they have good bonuses. They can make over 100,000 a year.
Yeah,
but that's like, I don't know, like three guys maybe.
Yeah,
I think that even the sort of top pro, they probably end up somewhere between 50 to 70,000 a year, which I think still is really good, for racing RC cars. I think that's
yeah. When you don't have to look, dude. When you don't have to spend money on RC, you have so much more money to spend on other toys. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but it's also something they enjoy to do. Like I would much rather even make 30,000-40,000 a year just racing than maybe 3 times that amount in some shitty corporate job that I don't really enjoy.
Yeah, I agree.
Or something like that,
I would agree with you there. I think that's all the questions we have. That's actually a great question, and I know everybody talks about it. Like we're the only people that touch that subject, it seems. And there's so many myths out there, like, oh, these guys are making millions and all this type of stuff. Like we're talking about these companies ain't moving hundreds of thousands of kits and all that type of stuff a year. Well, not RC racing kits, but it's a lot of money to come up. I would say, when you break it down, and you look at being a professional RC car racer, it's not like, hey, I can make a whole bunch of money doing this. It's like, hey, I can make a living doing this, and I get free RC stuff and travel.
Yeah, you can't earn enough money to retire on it. But you can make, if you can be, how should I put this? Like you shouldn't.
You can be comfortable.
Yeah, you shouldn't think of RC as, oh, this is something I can do because I can make money doing it. No, it's something that is really fun to do, and you can earn a living doing it also. That's great. Like while you are doing it, you can make some money.
Well, the industry is so small. Like the racing side is just so small. You know what I mean? We just think it's big. Compared to other industries, like, you know what I mean? Compared to cornhole, you know, it's just small. Like, you know, I always say, well, what's so obscure in RC? We didn't even make it on Netflix. Most obscure, like sports videos or sport documentaries. So yeah, like, I mean, you can make, and then a lot of guys you see a lot of like racers that were like these champions and made all this money. They completely are out of RC once they finish. Like, you know what I mean? So they just go get real jobs or they work in the industry somewhat, but it ain't too many of them. You know what, Joseph? I have to pay some bills. And you know what? I'm having a call to arms to all my male RC racers out there. It's time to get on that manscaping kit, because you know why? Fantasy football draft season is upon us, and it's time to put the PP back in PPR League with the sponsors, one of the sponsors of this awesome NNRC podcast, Manscaped. The leaders in below the waist grooming just launched the new Performance Package 4.0. Don't neglect your balls like the Packers front office has been neglecting Aaron Rodgers. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to www.manscaped.com. Saving 20% by using the code NONAME in all caps. And guess what? This will help you tame that Troy Polamalu in your pants. Now, guys, I didn't make that up. That's what they sent me, right? So it's football stuff. And if you don't get football, you don't know who that is. But yeah, man, cut through the jungle and find your manhood. I kind of, yay, guys, you save 20%. This stuff's good. I'm going to use this product for over a year. Definitely get that weed whacker for your ears and your nose. And, my wife, she gave me a manicure the other day, a pedicure. It was great. Nice, awesome clippers, all that type of stuff. And the 4.0 lawnmower, man, it's awesome. Like, I use it. I got a groomed on there anyway. Honestly, I keep saying I got to get you one, Joseph. I got to get you one. Honestly, I got to get you one.
Yeah, get me one and I'll get it when I come over there. How about
that? I actually have one for you, actually. I think I have one. All right, Joseph. You know what? Hey, real quick, we didn't touch on this. What's up with Mayako? It's September.
Yeah, man.
I heard people
there's one thing
excited.
I can't disclose yet, but one piece of big news will be out soon. I think this month. Mm-hmm. But I can't tell you what that is. Has to do with Mayako also, and the cars are still on schedule to ship during this month. So another 1, 2, 3 weeks of this month left. So within 3 weeks, they should ship.
You'd be like, September 31st at 12:59, they shipped.
Well, that would be special, especially since there's only 30 days in September.
You know what? Yeah, it is. I should have looked at that before I did that. Yeah, I'm getting excited about that. I'm also getting excited about the end of the year and maybe going to Puerto Rico and going to California, looking back on our South America videos and all this type of stuff and posting to TikTok and all. It just brings back so many good memories, and I want to do that. That's what I got into this to do, like to go to these places and do RC and have fun and meet people that do it. I think we brought a lot of exposure to South American RC by going on there, because a lot of people didn't even know they race. Coutini messaged me because he saw the video from, remember when we went to that track in San Juan, Joseph? When we first met the Argentina guys? He's like, this track is awesome. I posted that, and he's like, oh, you posted it. You need to come back. He's probably one of the fastest guys in Europe. I mean, in South America, and he barely races. Guy's good.
Yeah.
And your buddy,
it would be really nice to, post-COVID, do another trip, even if we went to the same places and see what's going on.
If I went this time, I would do more bus rides.
Definitely not.
Yes.
Why would you want to do that?
I enjoy the drives.
Jesus Christ. Well,
not the drive.
RCGP concept was worked on the bus ride.
I know. On the bus going from Bolivia to Chile.
Yeah, one thing I definitely won't do again is nighttime bus rides. That sucks.
Oh, I did. You don't know if he was going to die or not because you couldn't see the below.
There's
no
only
lights.
daytime. If you're on a bus, go daytime. That's
How about
it.
that? Remember that one dude that just got off in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I remember just sitting and looking out the window and then suddenly seeing lights like I'm on a fucking airplane. That's how far the lights are, like straight down. Like I hate you, Lefty.
Remember we stopped at some crazy place and like we were so hungry and we were so high up. I was like, I'm dying here. Oh my God, I'm dying. Yeah, good times. Huh? Good times. Anyway, you know what time it is? It's time.
I didn't like being sick either. That was Bolivia. That morning we left like it was pitch black outside. So I was
got sick by the dogs.
Sick as a dog. And then you leave and I just hear this barking. I know like, this monster of a dog is outside. And then I feel a breeze, right? And I can hear the dog really loud. So I knew this idiot left the door open, right? So all I did was I didn't care about you. Obviously, I knew you were out there. So the dog was barking at you. So I just went and closed the door. And went back to bed.
I was like, if this dog attacks me, I can't do anything. I'm so out of breath. I was just like, oh, I'm friendly with dogs.
I wasn't going to go. I didn't leave until someone came there.
Yeah, this guy has my back. Way back there.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
I don't know about Bolivia. They're too high up there in La Paz. Cochabamba was all right. I was looking at videos from Cochabamba.
I don't know how it is in Bolivia now with all the coups this way and that way and what the hell's going on. Is it stable now?
I have no idea. I haven't talked to anybody from there for a minute. You know what, Joseph? It's time for the Sun City RC Raceway Down and Quiet.
Sun City RC Raceway, the home of El Paso's world-famous motocross-inspired 8-scale off-road track. The Showers family has over 20 years' experience creating one of the premier tracks in the USA. Their world-class facility has everything: handicap accessibility, covered beds, skate starts, space for parking RVs, trailers, and lights for night racing. Follow SCRC on Facebook under Sun City RC Raceway for updates, upcoming races, or host your own race.
And thank you to the Showers family, Joey, Corbin, and Christian for their support of the podcast. Put this, US Open. That's the race you guys want to go to, and then RCGP when we go there, if we go there next year, fingers crossed. So thank you for them for supporting. If you are in the El Paso area, go check them out. They'll show you a good time. All right, Joseph, let's talk about these rumors. I told you last week that I heard about it. I first heard about this rumor on out of Extra Lap podcast of Aiden and those guys, and Aiden Horn was on there, and he had said that he had heard that it's going to close, right? And then we go to Surf City, right? And then you see then I saw people's after Surf City, I've made so many memories here in 13 years. And I'm like, maybe where there's smoke, there's fire. Then obviously I got that Instagram post where that guy said the church is going to take over. And then Smoker said something yesterday. And so I said, all right, I'm going to post about it. So it's so many conflicting rumors out there. But I believe the rumor is that OCRC is done at the end of the year. Gone.
Yeah, seems like it. They're looking for a new place, apparently.
Are they looking for a new place?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay, so they're not. See,
actually,
now
I'll ask someone who would know for sure.
All right, so
maybe we can get an answer right now.
It's a shame that this track is going to be closed. Apparently, the church next door is taking over the lease. Probably more money for the landlord. Who knows? I'm not blaming the church, anything like that. But man,
I was actually told that they owned the building, but I guess they don't.
Yeah, that's what this is the whole bunch of conflicting comments that I'm getting, and they own the building and they got a 10-year lease and they got this and they got that, and I'm like, well, it sounds like they're leaving, but they've had rumors of being shut down before, right?
I've never heard any.
What if this is true and this shuts down? Man, it's gonna be a big blow for 10-scale racing in SoCal.
Yeah,
big
definitely.
Because now, will these indoor guys go down to San Diego and race at SDRC? Will they go to Rain Man's? Will they go to Hot Rods?
That's too far.
Yeah, that's the thing. San Diego's far in traffic. I think people
Right.
don't understand how convenient OCRC is. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but by the amount of people that go there, you would think that they can find another place somewhere.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Does OCRC make money?
I'm sure it makes money. Have a shop
So I
and
look-
a track.
I,
Yeah,
I-
it must.
well, like, do people pay like a membership? Because, you know, like guys leave their stuff there and they have their pits like smoking.
Some do, but they have a limited amount of spots for that. Most people just have to pay each time they go, you know?
So this begs a differ. Is it profitable? Is it, how much does it cost to pay rent in a building
I'm
like
sure it's profitable, yeah.
that? Okay. Is it profitable just where it's paying the bills, or is it making money? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like is there profit at the end after everyone's been paid? I don't know. Like I know that they're probably, you know, paying themselves well, paying staff. It's you know, I'm sure it's a well-running business venture. I don't know if they're like making a profit at the end of each year, you know, paying dividends or investing or something. Like I don't know that. But definitely I would think that it runs well. They can pay all the staff, pay the rent, pay everything. Everything's smooth. I'm sure. Like it's a good business in that sense.
Man, I hope
I would think so.
I hope it's not true, because it's like when you go to SoCal, it's not going to SoCal without a trip to OCRC. You know what I mean? For anybody that's never been there, the best way I could describe it is like an RC clubhouse. The only thing they don't have is like they don't sell beer there. But if they did, it'd be great. But it's like you could literally go there and just hang out for the day, which I did. You know, watching you if you wanted to wrench on your car, you had nowhere to wrench, you could just go there and wrench. You know what I mean? That's the cool thing about it. And it's I hope if they do have to get out, I hope they find a replacement, because wow, like what do you think? Like, do you think Smoker, like if OCRC goes, like guys like Smoker ain't gonna race anymore? You know,
Yeah,
there's
what's
a
he
lot
gonna do? He's not gonna drive somewhere to run.
Exactly. There's lots of guys around there that ain't gonna I'm not driving all the way down to San Diego to race, or you know, all this type of stuff. I'm going to hot rods, even though it'd be great to see some more outdoor racing, but it's just so convenient there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Such a shame, man. Such a shame. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope we figure out what's going on with them. And I hope it isn't closing. I hope it's just rumors. Because I want to go see there, you know, and just hang out for a day. It's just a different vibe there. If you haven't been there, you wouldn't understand it. You know what I mean? So, wishing all the best to OCRC. If you guys close, I hope you open up again. Oh, I hope the rumors are not true. So, I don't know. All right, Joseph, that's all I have to talk about on the SCRC, Sun City RC Raceway, Down and Quiet. I'm going to go into my main interview now, which is actually with Ryan Pavidis, and I'm going to bring you back for the rant, because I think you have something to rant about. You don't know it yet, but you have something to rant about. Thank you, Sun City RC Raceway. We're now going on to the Tekno RC main interview with Ryan Pavidis. Thank you, Tekno, for all your support. Check them out, www.tekno.com, teknorc.com.
Tekno RC. Tekno RC. Tekno RC is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.teknorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Tekno RC. Excellence in engineering. Hashtag Tekno Takeover.
First off, thank you to Tekno RC for bringing you the main interview this week. Check out Tekno RC at www.teknorc.com for high quality 8-scale trucks and buggies and 10-scale stuff as well. Thank you to Tekno for bringing us the main interview. Today, joining us is a young man that I met. Whoa, he was probably 16 when I met him. DNC, maybe, 16, 15. DNC 2018.
Yeah, I think maybe I just turned 17.
Yeah, you and Max about the same age. I remember you, him, and You and him became real close at that race and Camden Lime and all that type of stuff. It was a great race too. You was in the A main too, right? In the open.
That 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you and Max were battling. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's when you first met him. But if you guys don't know who this guy is, probably you recognize his last name. This is Ryan Pavidis. I don't want to say you are the son of Mark Pavidis, but you are the son of two-time world champion and multiple national champion and legend in RC, Mark Pavidis, who we had on this podcast almost 2 years ago. We need to get an update with your dad. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I finally got you on her. We had you on a little bit at the Nationals, but you was busy. Congratulations on making the main at the Nationals. You've had a really good year this year, but we're going to talk a little bit about that in a bit. Thank you for coming on the podcast, man. What's up?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're getting ready for JBRL. Man, you guys are so lucky in SoCal. They go, I'm going to JBRL and Proline. I know it's like, I would give my left nut to go to Proline right now and race. Are you ready?
I will be. The end of the day here. I got some work to do still, but it'll be fun. I like going to those.
All right. Well, let's tell everybody a little bit about yourself. You're 19 years old and you live in SoCal or live in California, correct?
Yeah, so I'm 19 years old. Lived in SoCal my whole life. So just kind of grew up racing. Obviously with my dad, got me into it. So thanks to him for that. And then kind of he kind of got burnt out on it, I think. And stopped kind of coming to all the races. So I kind of started going with friends and stuff. And then so since then I kind of was going to races with friends for a long time. And then it's just kind of evolved from there.
Yeah. Like I said, you've had a really good year this year. But I kind of like to always find out early beginnings. When you was young and your dad was racing RC cars, what did you think of it?
I loved it. I wish I could go every single weekend, but I don't know, like, my dad didn't want me to, or because that was his job, so, like, I don't know if he, like...
Right.
He kind of wanted a break from that or whatever when he could. But, I always wanted to go to the track. So I would go, like, a few times a year, and that would just be, like, the highlight of everything.
Really? You only got to go a few times a year? Wow.
Yeah, like, when I was really little.
Right.
Like, when my dad still ran Kyosho, I don't know, I was really little. I didn't race that much. But I really loved it. Yeah.
When did you kind of like get into racing then? Like when did he say, all right, now it's time for you to race?
So I did like a couple, I think my first big race, I did like the 2013 Electric Nationals in Chico. And that was like on the sugar track. It was like the layout was super cool. And I wasn't that good, but I remember that was like probably one of my best memories. And then after that race, I was like, okay, I want to race more. And I told my dad that. And so then that's kind of when I started doing it more frequently.
Mm-hmm. That's probably then I met you 5 years later. You was doing really good. Your dad was there. What did he say when you said, hey, I'm sorry to talk about your dad. We're going to talk about, we're obviously here to talk about you, but I have to ask these questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are, like I told you, like you are the first son of a RC legend or even a world champion to be racing, like first child. There's not really anybody else out there like you right now. And so that makes you, like, for me, that makes you special because you're like second generation of RC racing. So what did your dad say when he was like, I want to race? Was he hesitant? Was he like, okay, or what? Like, because he knew what racing was all about back then.
Yeah, back then, I mean, he loves racing RC, obviously. So he understood, I think. Right. But at the same time, he's like, maybe like, oh, here we go. Like, because I'm going to get all into it. And then we're going every weekend. And then, yeah. Right. And then eventually got faster than him. Didn't take very long.
Really? You got faster than him?
Yeah.
Oh, he was kind of old. No, he's getting old. He was old. But it's still good. Your dad's a legend. Like, we all know that. I enjoyed my conversation with him. I guess it's kind of just... I guess we kind of just think it's natural that you're going to race. Like, you know what I mean? And be a racer and all that type of stuff. But I mean, it took you a while. Like you said, you was like what 13? Oh no, 2013. So you're 19. So 6 years ago, you're 13 years old when you really started racing, and you've definitely stepped up your game in the last 2 years, I would say, racing wise, and kind of doing it on your own. Because I remember when I asked you the other day, I was like, "Have you ever felt like you've been in your dad's?" Well, obviously, like I guess people have high expectations of you because your last name is Pavidis. Has that ever affected you anyway?
No, I wouldn't say it affected me like negatively.
Right.
I'd say maybe it's helped with certain things.
Okay.
And then certain times it's like, well, like I'm my own person too, you know?
Right.
But yeah, it's weird because I started like when I first started, I was going with my dad. Like I'd only go with my dad to the track, and then once he got me into it, maybe like 2014, 2015, we were going to like all these JBL races together and all that, and then he kind of got out of it and started focusing on other things. And then so I still wanted to race, so I found a way to do that, and I obviously had friends at the track, and I started going with them. So there's a few people who know who they are. They've took me to the track a bunch to all the races, and so.
Was it when your dad left you to race, was you doing your own wrenching and stuff at that time, or was he helping you out with that?
Yeah, I was doing my own wrenching and stuff.
Okay, so he did it right. Like he like got you wrenching at an early age. You knew how to do your stuff, so you could pretty be independent when you went out when he knew he was gonna leave.
Yeah, like I remember he got me like a Kyosho like stadium truck. So I don't know when you ran Kyosho. What is that, like 2010? Like really young, and I was just playing with it in the backyard. But it was a kit, and he's like, "You gotta build it." So I built it all, and then I think he soldered it or whatever. But I built everything else. So I've kind of worked on my own stuff since the beginning. I've always enjoyed it.
What did you used to tell your friends at school what your dad did for a living? Did they think it was cool when you was younger?
I don't. Maybe when I was like a lot younger, like they like that, I would talk about it, and they thought it was cool, I guess. But
As you got older?
as I got older, it wasn't really like something people ask. But
Yeah.
they'll ask like what I did, like where are you going this weekend? Where are you going this weekend? Like, how come you're always gone?
What did they think about that? Because I always ask these questions. I want to see what the younger generation that doesn't race think about what we guys are doing.
Well, I think when you first say it, like somebody who doesn't know anything, they haven't seen any videos or they haven't like been to the track or anything or driven one, they're like, what do you mean you race RC cars? That sounds like you play with toys, you know?
Oh,
It's like, and it's like, well, like, yeah, but here, just come. And so I showed like all my good friends, like all the cars and stuff and like how much there actually is to it. And they understood. I get it's still a bit nerdy, like, too nerdy, I guess, for some people. But most of my friends were like, that's cool. Like once I like kind of showed them about it and showed them some videos and like I took a couple of them to the track, took my stepbrother to the track and he drove. And so, yeah, it's kind of been, it's interesting what other people think about it.
Yeah, it is. It's no different for me. Like, hey, like, why are you here? Like, what do you do? Oh, I do this for a living. And then I have to break out the phone and say, this is what I do. And then this is what I talk about and all that type of stuff. And then people, I didn't even know people did that stuff. So it's no different for you. How about driving skill? Did your dad teach you how to drive in a bit or like give you pointers in driving, or you just learned like all that on your own?
He would just like basically tell me to get around the track without crashing, like stay in he just tell me to stay in the middle, honestly.
Oh, and that's so old school, man.
Yeah, so I would just like when I was like in the sportsman class, I would win just by going like slow. I was probably like, I don't know, a couple seconds off the lap times, but I wouldn't crash. Right. So I'd just go like super slow and like steady, I guess. And then the speed kind of came as I got older. But
yeah, your dad's like old school, man. Teach you how to wrench. He's from that attitude era of RC when guys had to be rough, tough. You know what I mean? When you hear Greg and all these guys talking about RC back in the 90s, early 90s and all that stuff, and late 90s, early 2000s gas racing. Them guys were rough, like breaking each other's antennas and, you know, getting in fights on the driver's stand and all that stuff. It was serious back then. But that's cool. What does your but now like you're fully into RC. Like you work at a hobby shop, you're going to school part time to be an to be an engineer, which is really good. The proof is in the pudding, because I saw you in 2018. I think you came. Where did you finish at the open class in 2018? Like second or third, I think.
At DNC.
Yeah, and Nitro, because you and Max were battling at one point.
Yeah, so I think I DNF'd in like a couple of qualifiers or something, and then TQ'd one of them. So I was like in qualifying, I was right there with I think it was like Max and I don't know, maybe a couple other guys.
Camden, I think was good. Yeah,
I won e-buggy, but then I had to start first in the B main, and then bumped into the A main, and I wanted to battle with them, but it just didn't happen. So
oh man, I was looking at video from that race I had on my phone the other day, and I just remember that race, like how blown away I was to be there, and just the feelings I felt when he was out there in that main, and how all you guys were just. I was just remember the thing that stood out to me the most was watching you, him, Eunice was there, and probably Camden, just being like 17-year-old kids, like when you weren't racing, and I was like, yeah, that's what RC is supposed to be like, you know, do your battle on the track and then have fun together outside the track. So that's when I first got to meet you, and I've been following you. You know, we've had odd conversations over the years. But man, I have to say, like, you're probably one. I know I don't mention it much on the podcast, and that's probably for me just not paying attention. But you've had a really good year this year, dude. Like a silently good year. Yeah, you got that smile on your face because you know what I'm talking about. So I talked to you about this at the Nationals when you was there, dude. You've had a great year this year. Like it's like you just came out of, like we talk about Aiden Horn and all these guys. They had great years. Don't get me wrong, but yours is. Maybe not you're not finishing second at the Nationals, but you've made how many mains this year? Did you make DNC main?
No.
Okay, but you made Silver State main.
Silver State, Nationals, and then I was at the Wicked Weekend too. I was in
right. You made that main. You had a good qualifying session. What happened to you in your? You had a flame out. That's what you did.
I got up to third. I think like maybe a couple laps in, and then I had like Tebow behind me. I just kind of got nervous, so. I had a couple mistakes. I was in, I think, seventh, and then had a really good battle with Jared Wiggins and Spencer Hecker. And then I got up to fifth, and then I was putting in good laps, and then motor flamed out. So,
well, what clicked for you, man? What clicked for you for this year? What is it? Just everything coming together, getting older, you know, mature if you're racing, learning more racecraft, but you're definitely on the right path.
I would say, like last year, I didn't race that much. I maybe went to the track a handful of times, and that was mainly to like the indoor track, SDRC and stuff like that, just to like practice or whatever. So I kind of took a break from racing, I guess you could say, and then I decided like I want to kind of come back into it and give it some good effort. Right. And DNC didn't go very well, but granted, I didn't have a lot of like runtime before that. I was still kind of pretty fresh. And then I went to Texas, that TNR race.
Oh, you did? You went to El Paso.
Mm-hmm. And then kind of got a lot of runtime there and was able to race with Cole and Jared and like Camden and Westergaard and those guys more. And so, and then I got a couple podiums there, and the confidence, I kind of had more confidence. And then PNB didn't go very well, but that was a learning experience, I guess. And then kind of
your first time ever at PNB?
Yeah, first time there.
Okay.
And then just kind of worked on like practice and setup stuff on the car. Got it like comfortable for my driving, and then went to Silver State and kind of surprised myself.
I think you surprised everybody, man.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, but it's not a fluke. I mean, okay, all right, the Nationals, you just missed getting in the main. You just missed it. You made the semis, you just missed it. Obviously, through the DQs you got in there. It doesn't matter. You was in there. It doesn't matter. You made a Nationals final, and that's the first of many I think you're going to make. Something's clicked. Like, what are you doing? Are you going to the track more? Are you walk me through a week with Ryan Pavidis. Are you practicing more? Are you practicing with a purpose now? Or what's really, besides effort, or maybe just confidence, what are you doing outside of that?
I think I've been able to drive like put in good qualifiers and stuff for a while, but I'd say like getting the setup right to where the car's actually good, and then just kind of like mindset too. Like I feel like I'm kind of getting better at that, like the pressure and the focus thing.
Are you doing anything to like focus better, anything like that, or reading it, like doing anything? Because I believe in that you can focus train and do things to make yourself better.
Not really, but I really think about it like when I'm driving, like how focused I am, like while I'm driving, and then I can see like if I make a mistake, it's kind of like, well, I kind of lost focus. Like I can kind of notice that, I guess.
Yeah,
But
go ahead. Sorry.
oh, you're good. You're good.
Oh no. Well, I've noticed, right, and I've talked to you a lot, and just a silently good year, man. And I'm excited to see what happens for you in 2022. I mean, we still got a lot of time left in this year. So what's next for you? What races next? Oh, JBR this weekend. Are you traveling to any more races this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Southern Nats next week.
Nice.
So
Great race.
I wasn't planning on that, but after Wicked Weekend, I kind of felt I got robbed of some results, so I want to go back and try again.
That's a nice track. It's gonna be nice. It's a nice race. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, so let's talk about you. You are working at the hobby shop part time now or full time?
Part time.
What hobby shop is that?
Mike's Hobby in Lake Elsinore.
Okay, how's that going? Like you now, like I always say, when you're in the candy shop, candy isn't so sweet anymore. So how is it working in the hobby shop, being a semi-pro racer? Like, you know what I mean? You get to travel and all that stuff. You aren't a pro racer yet. Yes, I would say semi-pro. That's not wrong with saying that. You getting tired of RC yet, or are you just enjoying? Are you just happy in RC and life right now?
I think working there is kind of different because maybe if I was working at like OCRC or something, where I'm at the track every day and like dealing with racers and stuff every single day, then it would be, yeah, I'd probably get burnt out for sure. I could see that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah, but I'm working like at this hobby shop. It's more, there's not a lot of tracks nearby really. So there's not as many racers that come in. It's mainly like bashers and stuff. But then you get to see like, I've been able to see and learn like who comes from buying a Slash to getting a Tekno or getting a kit and then building it, you know? So I see like
what's some of the telltale signs for that?
They're coming back in every day for parts. Like what's the next car they're going to get? Yeah.
Oh man, you know that's when you see somebody get hooked like that, it's actually feels good to you too. You're like, yeah, I know what this person's feeling right now. I felt that when I first.
And then I I enjoy selling that stuff more, obviously, because I'm a racer. So I like to get people into it, but and then try and show them like why I like it. Some people though, it's just not for them. Like they don't want to get that into something, but some people, just depends on the person, but they'll take it, you know, as far as they want.
That's a great mindset to have, man. A lot of guys work in hobby shops and it's like, oh, just doing this to pay the bills. But when you can actually like help somebody get into racing, I think that's one of the best things we can do as RC racers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have it right there. You get people coming in and you can introduce, and then you can say, hey, I went this weekend and I did this. And next, you never know who you get interested. Now you said you can tell who's going to stay or leave. That's good because we need more of these people to come in and stay. Good question, because this is going off on a tangent. What's some of the things that these new people say to you when they get into racing and stuff like that?
They just ask a lot of questions, and I answer a lot of questions, I would say. But I'd say it starts like people buy a Slash or whatever. Like they never had an RC car before, or maybe they had it, or they used to be into it or whatever, but they got out of it and they haven't touched an RC car in 25 years. And then they just get super into it again. So they're like coming through the doors every day, like for new parts. And then they kind of like look at the kit and they're thinking about it. And then a month later, they kind of, you see them with like their own race cars, and they're coming in asking questions and we're helping them. And they like coming in too, because there's me and then Chad Panic. He used to race too. So there's a lot of racing experience in the hobby shop. So we like helping people that want to race. So
well, that's cool. Good, because you guys are going to be like the hobby shops got people into RC in the first place, you know. So you're still like where there are hobby shops. I don't have one here, but you guys are still like on the front line to getting people in. And I assume he's pretty flexible with your race schedule as well. So that's also a plus.
Yeah, that's a huge plus. I can pretty much go to any race I want and take the time off that I need to. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and you're studying engineering. Why do you want to study engineering?
I just like knowing how things work.
That's good. That's a good answer. How's that going for you?
It's going all right. I've done maybe I've been in school for 2 years, so I kind of done most of my prerequisites. So now I can kind of do all the math classes and the engineering classes and physics classes. That's the stuff I like. So
okay, all the stuff I dislike. Great. I hate math. I hate physics. I hate all that stuff.
I love it.
That's why. Oh my gosh, I can't take that stuff. But I guess you need that, especially in this and for racing and stuff like that. You know. But I just like to count money. I don't have much of it, so it's easy for me. Hot race, man. Let's talk a little bit about that because you know, I know your dad's involved in hot race. I know you're running them. You're actually pitting with the hot race guys at the nationals. They definitely are one of the tire brands that are like hot race from being a European brand, Northern America.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see them growing. You know, I'm starting to see a lot more people on the East Coast. I know your dad's involved. What about you? What's your involvement with hot race? Are you helping them out with testing or doing stuff for Nikola or anything like that?
Yeah. So before COVID, I think the DNC, the second DNC at Paris, or maybe the first one. But Nikola came to the United States, so I got to meet him, and then he was here for a while with Marco and stuff, and we tested tires at some of the tracks around here. Mm-hmm. So I helped with that a little bit, but mainly my dad does a lot here, like packing the tires and sending out all the orders and stuff. And then TJ too, he travels to all the races. He puts in a lot of work.
Yeah. So what do you do? Do you get to go out and still test tires for these guys? Are they getting your input and are you giving them input on stuff?
Haven't really done a lot of testing. I would say just kind of learning more about the tires at each race I go to. It's kind of something we're kind of learning something new at every race with the tires, or at least I am. So that's been cool.
Well, I mean, they're definitely making a push. Like I said, after the Nationals, I know a lot of people that switched over or are switching over to hot race. So that's good. That's good. And I mean, we kind of need tire brands in here, you know. Maybe we can bring the prices of some tires down and whatnot like that. So how about you? Where's your favorite place to go practice right now?
Thunder Alley's got to be my favorite track for sure.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Have you been out to Joey's new track yet? Have you driven out there yet?
Yeah, I've been out there a couple times. Same as the DNC track. The second year they had it at Paris. Same everything. It's fun. It's real. It's rough. Breaks apart, but it's real off road. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with having a track like that. Nothing wrong with having a track like that. Why do you like Thunder Alley so much?
Thunder Alley's kind of always been one of my favorites. It's been there since I've been going to that track since as long as I can remember, pretty much. But I would say I like it now. The elevation, the dirt there. I like the dirt there. It can get rough, but it's not overly so. You can still have pretty good battles right there without hitting a bump and flying off the track, it seems like. But yeah, that'd probably be my favorite place to go practice locally.
Dude, I've been to Thunder Alley 3 or 4 times. I've never done a lap around. Never.
It's great. You gotta do it. It's pretty fun.
I done half a lap at RCGP. I tested out the starting gate. Then just give me my car back. Or you break it. But I've never done a lap there. Been there a whole week. A whole week for RCGP. Never done a lap.
Yeah.
It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. But you are fortunate. You have these tracks to go to in practice. Like I said, you have JBRL coming up this weekend. Who is your biggest who are you trying to beat going into JBRL this weekend? Who do you want to just demolish? Everybody.
I'm just trying. I'm in the points lead right now, so I'm just trying to stay there. That's the
Okay.
goal. But
So you're
there's
gonna
definitely there's some guys that are coming for me.
Oh yeah, who's coming for you? Call them out. I want you to call them out on this podcast. Yeah.
I'd say Jermaine Robinson got me at the last one. I had a couple mistakes, a super long lap, but he got me. And then I would say Walker Spinrad's gotten really fast.
Oh yes, he has.
Camden, when he comes out, sometimes he comes to these races. He can be going really fast too. Tyler Fenster now.
Yeah, he raced at
well.
he raced at Surf City this past weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's epic. NorCal versus SoCal. Jermaine's good, man. He's doing good. He's been killing it lately.
Yeah. He actually moved. He moved to Texas, so we won't get to race with him as much. But
oh wow, I didn't know that. It's a lot of people, a lot of California racers moving to Texas now. I see. So I guess it's something there that they like. But on the big, when you go out to these big races, who are some of your like guys that you just hate to lose to? Like who's some of your? They may be friends or maybe just guys you just want to beat all the time at some of these bigger races.
I would say this year it's kind of changed because I'm kind of excuse me. I kind of been racing with new people, so I'm kind of seeing like it's kind of changing for me. Like at Wicked Weekend, I was battling with kind of new people, and I can kind of see like who I want to beat and who I don't want to lose to. But I don't really want to lose to anybody.
No, nobody wants. But you got to have somebody they hate to lose to. Somebody always got somebody they hate to lose to. I hate to lose to Joseph. But I'm in RC, he'll always beat me. But yeah, man. So you're a young guy, you're 19, you're coming up, you had a really good year in RC, you're coming up to the end of the year. What are your plans looking for? I mean, I guess you are trying to be, or the goal is to be a professional racer, right? As well as get your degree in engineering and all that stuff as backup. Do you think you have what it takes to do it? Do you think you can do it?
I don't know. We're going to find out. I
think you can do it. I honestly think you can do it. I like after talking to you at the Nationals and just seeing how your attitude is and the way you're thinking, like I watched you. You came over, got some advice, and you went back over to the hot race tent. You always, when I talked to you, it's like, yeah, I'm cool. You know, you're very cool, calm, and collective. And I said, wow, this guy's matured a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm watching the other top guys out there freaking out, and I'm like, this guy's just cool. Maybe you was freaking out where I didn't see you, but whenever I saw you, you was cool. And I just like, this guy's like in a good spot, like mentally, like I can see that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was like, a good week. That was
yeah. Well, I mean, we could be so many mental different stages I can be so many different mental stages in 5 minutes. So, you know, imagine that. But I mean, I think for you, like from what I'm seeing, it's like maybe you're not in the limelight like a lot of these other guys are. I know because I put, you know, and like you flew under my radar this year, like honestly, to Silver State, and then I said, oh, Pavidis, and I said, is this a fluke? Then you was like, when I saw you at the Nationals, and I was like, wow, he's good, like he's driving well, like, and me and my buddy were like, man, Pavidis is good, doing good, and I was like, yeah, because he wants to do it now. I know at one point he was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to, you know, I know I was talking to you maybe about 2 years ago, he was like, I don't know if I want to do this. This is getting a little hard. I don't have any help, stuff like that. So I guess what changed in that time though? Like, you know what I mean? You did talk about it. I guess now you're working for yourself, so you have your own money. You can go to these races. You can pay for fuel to get there. I'm pretty sure these companies are helping you out a little bit as well, which is good. It should be, you know what I mean? Because you're making mains. I think you should get some help somehow, some way. I'm just excited to see you doing more East Coast races, coming out of California, all that type of stuff. Because it's a big. I love California. I love SoCal and all that stuff. But there's a big America out there with lots of RC out there and lots of fast guys. Tell us about racing on the East Coast. How do you like that? Wicked Weekend, PMB, coming to these races. I think I like to say that the East Coast people are a lot more laid back, a lot more friendly.
Yeah.
and they like invite you in. But how is it like compared to racing on the rougher outdoor tracks in California?
Well, I would say, like, as far as the big races go, like DNC and Silver State, the competition's like, there's a lot. It's always like nationals level pretty much, or harder because there's international guys. I'd say DNC is closer to worlds than the nationals, usually. But yeah, it's been good going over there. Like in Pennsylvania, that was obviously a good race for me. And the tracks are just different. They're smooth.
That track was really smooth.
High grip. Yeah. And then same with Wicked Weekend, pretty smooth. There's a couple holes, but nothing like out here. So I've been enjoying it a lot. I like the racing back there.
Do you think coming from that rough, because it's like I tell people all the time, like a lot of my East Coast racing friends, I'm like, man, you got to go out to the West and race, like not just do the DNC race, but you got to go out there the weekend before, go practice and do all that type of stuff. And it'll make you a better racer. I think it just comes down to the tracks that you guys have, and also the level of competition. I've always thought that if you can go fast on if you can go fast on a bumpy track, then a smooth track you should be able to do good as well. So,
I don't know. I think it's if you run a lot on bumpy tracks, you're probably going to be good on bumpy tracks. Like you learn how to drive around the bumps and stuff like that, and kind of control yourself. The smooth tracks, though, it takes a different kind of driving, I feel like. But I feel like I've been able to do okay on both because I raced a lot of 10 scale. Probably the last like 4 years. So I've raced a lot of 10 scale, so I kind of learned how to drive those like high grip, smooth tracks. But I would say there is a difference because I see some people that come from California or, rough, where they only race on rough tracks and then they'll go to like the smooth tracks, and it's kind of a struggle. Or guys that only race on smooth tracks come to the rough tracks, and it's even harder for them. So,
yeah, I guess both have their pluses and minuses. I guess with the smooth track, you have to be a lot more precise, and when you do make mistakes because you're going faster, it happens so much faster. Like, you know what I mean? A bump you can kind of recover from, but when you're trying to dive into a corner and then you just make a mistake and you barrel roll and stuff, the faster you go, the harder it is to make changes. So I know you ain't got much time, if that's fine. You gotta get ready for JBRL. You're a hardworking young man. You gotta win, so that's good too. You got Southern Nats coming up as well. Who you going to Southern Nats with? Are you going on your end?
I'm going with Walker and Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Walker Spinrad and Tyler Fencer. Yeah.
Oh, Spin Radical.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun trip, and then we kind of all push each other, and we're pretty close in speed at times. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I noticed that Spinrad was like running open last year, and he's moved up to pro. Like no problem. I like Spin. I call Spinrad the young J smoker, because if it's a big jump out there, he's gonna figure out a way to do it. And I saw that at DNC from the coverage. He was the only one doing that quad. I like guys like that. Send it without responsibility. Well done, Spin Radical. So it sounds like, I guess you're just like living that RC life in SoCal, which I preach to people that they have to do, but you're actually doing it. And there's like I can see the difference. Like now that you said, I don't know the guy Tyler too much. I saw he finished and did pretty good at Surf City, but I can see the difference in Spinrad, like how good he's gotten in the year that I've been watching him. Since when I first found, I met him through through Chase and all those guys. I haven't met him personally, but I met him through just through Facebook and all that stuff. So it sounds like you got a good group of guys. Do you practice with those guys a lot, or just
not really? We all kind of live a couple hours away from each other, but like when there's a local race or whatever, we're there together. So yeah, it's cool because we're all like pretty close in age. And we're all getting faster, so it's kind of it's cool to be racing with those guys. But then at the same time, we all want to beat each other. So
evaluating yourself, do you think you have what it takes to be a national champion, a world champion, or world finalist at some point in your career? I mean, you're only 19. You got plenty of time to do this. But you don't have plenty of time because you have to start doing things, you're 19, you get 21, 22, 23. That's when you start kind of need to, if you look at other racers, that's when they kind of started having some good results.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I can do better than I am now. I don't know if I will be like Mayfield level or that good.
I don't think we're going to see anybody that's Mayfield level for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty high goal.
That's a high standard.
Yeah, I don't think you can be much better than that. But I think I can improve for sure. So that's what I want to do. I just want to keep improving, and as long as I see myself improving, I'll keep racing. So,
what are some of the things that you want to improve on right now, immediately, that you think you can work on?
Long main events.
What, staying focused?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And kind of nerves too.
Oh,
Nerves really hurt me at the last one. So,
do you do anything before you go up, or do you have any rituals, or do you listen to any music before you go on the driver's stand to try and calm yourself down?
I'm usually pretty good up until I'm maybe battling with somebody, or like in certain scenarios, like on the track, and then it will kind of throw me off. So I need to like kind of recover faster from that, or just not get like flustered at all.
Well, that comes with racecraft, and that comes with more racing and more confidence.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like, it's only like my third race racing with those guys, so I think the more I do it, the better I'll get at it. But yeah, that's my goal. Like Southern Nats, I'd like to podium or at least be up there battling, and I want to just kind of have less mistakes in the mains.
Well, I mean, this was like even like we talk about Mayfield. Mayfield, for the longest while, couldn't he would. The reason Mayfield doesn't have as many titles as like a Cavallari or a Tessman, then they say national titles and stuff like that, because he would always break or he'll blow out or something like that. The one thing that that's made Mayfield such so good now, and probably for good honest, one of the best ever, is his ability. He doesn't make mistakes. He's backed it down a bit. He's backed it down a lot. He doesn't make many mistakes, but the ability to correct the he can start. Like I'll tell you what, when he was leading the main at you couldn't see, he was driving. I don't know if you can see, when he was leading the main, when it was coming near the end of the race, that double going up to the second uphill part, that you jumped up on top of there, like as you came on and you jump back up like that. I watched him make some mistake, dude, and I was like, oh man, if I would have done that, I would have been like outside of the track somewhere. He just like scrubbed it and like went in the middle and just went. I was like, that's why that guy's so good. Like he can just the corrections that he can make, and if he does make that mistake, he can make up for it. And I think once you get that confidence, and it's probably going to take, like I said, it's going to take some time. Like I think you'll be all right, man. Like you've just been doing it silently, and that's what I like about it. You're not making a big deal about yourself. You're not, you're kind of flying under the radar, kind of. And then like when I saw you at the Nationals, I was like, man, this kid. But this young man's really improved, man. So I'm really impressed with you. Honestly, I am. And I'm glad to have you on the podcast. And I want you to do well. Like I'm always like for the underdogs too. You know what I mean? And a lot of people may say you're not the underdog because your dad was like a 2-time world champion. But I also see that your dad didn't like pamper you, to an extent. Like he didn't, you know how you have some RC dads that do everything for their son and do all that type of stuff.
He wasn't like that.
Yeah. That's exactly what I would do to my son. Like, you know what I mean? If he wanted to get into RC racing. And I think that's probably one of the best things that your dad could have done for you. Honestly. I think he kind of realized this guy, if he wants to make it in RC, he's going to have to be his he has my last name, but he's going to have to be his man and not try to live up to what I done. But you still got plenty of time to do good, man. So Southern Nats, and then that's it. You doing any 10 scale racing?
No 10 scale. I'll go and practice sometimes.
Right.
Like I have a tool drive buddy. So I'll go practice sometimes. It's good. Good for driving. But the big races, I kind of stopped going to those. Just wanted to focus on 8 scale, put like all my resources into that. Takes a lot of time, a lot of money. So yeah, I just wanted to do, for a while I was doing 10 scale and 8 scale and kind of splitting my time. And then I decided, like, if I'm going to really try it, I should probably just pick one. And I looked at both, and to me, 8-scale seems like the more competitive premier class.
Oh,
So,
it's the glory. It's the number one
Yeah.
class in our. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah,
It's the best.
Nitro's the
it's-
glory.
There you go. As a young racer, and I would say you've been kind of involved in racing, obviously through your dad and all that stuff, but you've been around for a long. Like, you are young, but you've been around RC for a long time. What is some of the things that you would like to see change in our industry, in our sport, and happen? Because I like to hear what you guys have to say, what you guys want to see, because you are the future for us. Like, not some old guy like me. You know what I mean? You guys are the future. What do you want to see change in our sport? What do you see? What do you want to see happen?
As like a professional racer, I would like to see like the big races be more organized. So, like RCGP did a pretty good job of that. I did that. I raced in the RC2 class, and that was like probably the most organized race I've ever been a part of. And that was, I'd like to see more like that for the big races, and then probably as the average racer or someone getting into the hobby. I don't know, just maybe make it easier to start racing and more like beginner friendly, maybe.
How would you do? I want to ask you, how do we do that? Because you work in a hobby shop, and this is the big conundrum. How do we do this? We was having this discussion too earlier.
I don't know. It seems like I honestly don't know. Maybe information more readily available or easier to find. But there's people that do a good job of that. There's a lot of YouTube videos now, I guess. But yeah, I just want to see it grow and get bigger because I think it's really cool, RC racing in general. But just not a lot of people know about it. So more exposure, more new people.
Yeah. How would you do that? Would you like to see spectators? I mean, you guys are the future. Like, you guys are the guys with the cell phones and all that type of stuff. Like, I'm counting on you guys. You know what I mean? When I go 6 feet under and all we guys are done and we're going, well, I'm not getting 6. I'm getting burned. I'm getting cremated. All this type of stuff. You guys got to take over and do what I want to see. What I want to see, what you guys want to do. I want to see you guys take our sport to that level. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to be your generation. Maybe the generation below that, right? Just below you guys. But you guys can do that. Like, I want to see, like, because I think what we do is cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I brag about what we do all the time. I just think we don't promote it. Like, we always say RC isn't a spectator sport, or we can't do this, or we can't do that. I'm tired of hearing we can't. I want to say we can. I think we need to, we have these professional racers. Like, you're a prime example. How do you become a professional racer? Tell me.
Spend a lot of money, practice a lot, race a lot.
There's no real
And
way.
you have to want it, like really want to do it. But yeah,
But
there's
there's no
no like
path.
set path. But you kind of look at like motocross or something, and it's better, but it's not like there's a real path. You're always kind of just making your own
Right,
own way to the top.
But in motocross, there's amateur and there's a pro class too. You know what I mean? And then they have, like, obviously, if you do good in the amateur class, you can eventually go up to pro. We just don't have that, and I think that's something that we also lack a lot of professionalism, not a just showmanship in our and like I told you, like when I've been talking to you lately, I was like, man, you got to build your brand, like become somebody, like, you know what I mean? It's not just about people when they get invested in you. That's what I want to see you young guys do. I want to see you young guys be the smack talking, not disrespectful, but you know, them guys who are going to go up there and say, yeah, I'm here to kick ass and take names, and anybody who wants to come try, let's see me on the track. That's who I want. That's what I'm hoping comes out of you guys' generation. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, because we need some flavor. We need some charisma in our sport. And I think we lack that. And I think that attracts people, because I get invested in knowing about these pro guys and all that type of stuff and whatnot. So I hope you do that. You and your generation are the young guys that can do that. I know you're busy. I know you got to get ready for JBRL, and we were supposed to record this last week. But yeah, man, I think you have a bright future. I'm excited to see what's in store for you coming up. And I like the fact that you kind of aren't relying on your dad's last name and your last name to get forward. Like, you know, you're doing it like the hard way, like literally the hard way, you know, on your own, out there, going to races, you know, all this type of stuff. And I think a lot of people can learn from you, you know. I'm pretty sure, like, you've had some help, like your last name does help a little bit. I'm pretty sure, because like, it's your dad, like, you know what I mean? But it's not like, hey, just because you're Ryan Pavidis, you got this. Like, you actually have these skills and you're out there doing, you know, making a name, becoming your own person, man.
Yeah.
And I have to say congratulations to you for that, because that's a hard hurdle to come over. And you've overcome that at a very young age.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, anyway, man, I know you got things to do. You got to get ready for JBRL. Remember, drive smart. Like, you don't have to win. You just have to stay in the points. It's always good to get a win. Man, that track looks nice, too.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Anthony looks like he put in a pretty good one. So,
Oh, man.
It'll be good.
I'm so sick. You guys got to go have so much fun. Hey, man, I'm going to get you back on this podcast, I think, at some point next year and see where you're at. I'm sorry that I kind of ignored you this year. You just flew under my radar.
you're
But-
all good.
You know, that's good. Like, I was so focused on the all, you know, on the other guys. You're just flying under the radar, and sometimes that's the best way to be, man. Like, you're in a good spot, and I like that, and I think you're gonna be successful. And if you just like, I'm gonna, hey, tell you, man, get into that focus training stuff. You'll see it make a difference and all that type of stuff. Would you like to say thank you or shout out to anybody before we close on her?
Thanks to all my sponsors, Chad and Mike at work, for letting me go racing all the time. My dad, my mom and dad for sure. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming. Hey, you know what? Tell your pops we need to have another interview. Maybe when he's at home, not driving, so we can have better audio. Because I'm sure he's got a lot more stories to tell.
Yeah,
And,
I'll let him know.
Sure, man. Well, thank you for your time, man. Get to wrenching, and we'll be in contact. And hopefully, I'll see you next in February for DNC, man. Well, if I come, I should be there.
Yeah, hopefully everyone is able to come to that one with COVID and all.
Yeah,
But
I definitely want to see the international guys come and race, and they want to too. Trust me.
yeah, like
They
I
wanna
want to see kind of where I stack up
Mhm.
with them too now. So it'll be cool to.
Well, if
have
things
them
work
here.
out, we'll have a Worlds next year too. So,
Yeah, and I hope that happens too. I'd love to go there.
so
That'd be sweet.
oh yeah, Spain. It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, man, let me let you go. Thank you for your time, and keep up the good work, man. I'm watching you. You're on my radar, and I think you're gonna do big things, man. Just keep confident. Stay confident. Let's get focused. You'll be all right. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Bye bye.
We are now at that point of the show where you should fasten those seatbelts and put your big boy pants on.
Things are about to get serious.
It's time for the JQ Racing Rant.
Yes, it is time for the JQ Racing Rant. We've had 3 shows with 3 rants. Well, we didn't have a rant last week, but this is our 3rd rant. We're on a roll, Joseph. We haven't had rants for a while, and now we had 2 good ones. People enjoyed them. They thought I was going to kill you at one point, but they enjoyed them.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I
I have
know, I
a
was
rant for a future episode. I won't reveal the topic, but I think that could be a good one too.
All right. So you messaged me this week and just said, "Look at this. You're so upset about this." And you know,
I
and-
was upset.
yeah, you was like, "Look at this. This is or something you said to me in the post. I can't even remember. I don't have it up here. But I'm just gonna. I want people's opinions on this because I actually think this is a good thing. You know what I mean? But you don't. So let's see. There you go. The Armor TLR Tune Typhoon 8-scale 4-wheel drive buggy. Oh, it's a roller coming soon. This triggered you a little bit this week. So basically, this is
It didn't trigger me in a rant sense.
yeah, but let's talk about it. Is this good
Yeah.
or is this not good? So basically what it looks like is TLR's putting some parts from their cars, I guess, or made some parts for the Armor Typhoon. which is a popular, apparently a very popular 8-scale basher buggy or whatnot. So I've never had one, so I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So it looks like they got durable TLR tuned aluminum upgrades, includes chassis, steering rack, adjustable upper and lower suspension hangers, shock bodies, rear shock towers, everything. It's got the TLR logo. The chassis also features it's just basically they kind of made this almost to a race ready type of car.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, this is kind of weird. Like, are they doing this? Are they doing this because this is a popular car that they can then sell to bashers and make more money and then make more hot pops? Or are they doing this to bring new people into RC racing?
Well, I would say that I like the fact that it's more of a race car. It looks like maybe you could actually race it. So it's race spec, and for the size, and all of that stuff. The reason I sent it to you was I just thought that, look, Horizon's doing it again. They're ruining a brand. So racing and bashing are two different things, right? Mm-hmm. And for you to have a prestigious racing brand, it requires certain things. It's like Ferrari, isn't like Ferrari and Fiat basically the same company, right? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't see a Fiat van or something with Ferrari parts on it. No, you wouldn't, because those brands are separate. Ferrari is high performance, racing, expensive, high technology. There's this premium badge on the brand, right? So you wouldn't put it on some low-level working van or something, right? You just wouldn't. You don't combine that. So what I see happening is they will just turn TLR into what they already turned Losi into, right? It used to be Team Losi. Horizon bought Team Losi. Team Losi went from this innovative RC racing, sort of no compromise, we want to win worlds brand, to making short course trucks and ready to runs and toys, basically. And then they came up with TLR to sort of keep the racing side alive, like Team Losi Racing TLR. That's now racing. Losi is just this junk toys, right? I already have a cease and desist from Horizon. I don't give a shit anymore, okay? So do you see what I mean? Like, they had a racing brand. It turned into this like bashing toys, entry-level stuff. Now I just saw this thing heading in the same direction. Like, they are putting TLR stuff on an Arma car. Arma is not a racing brand. It's a bashing brand. It's like Traxxas, right? So I very much doubt that they have this genius plan of like, hey, let's grow RC racing. We can have this car and it sells to bashers, but we can sort of encourage them to join racing with this product, and we link it to TLR a bit, and they'll move over to TLR. I very much doubt that that's actually what they are doing or what will happen. I think the thought process, this is allegedly just my opinion, whatever. I think the thought process is more like, oh, we'll raise the value of this car. Like, it's more prestigious for people, like this Arma car has these nice TLR parts on it, That's what I think it is, more so. So
just a money grab. Just money.
Not like a money grab, but this thinking that if we put these Ferrari things on the Fiat, then the Fiat will be more attractive. Do you see what I mean? Okay, that's what I think is happening. And I think that it's a bad move. And it will, if they keep doing this, TLR will just become another Losi one day. Like, I don't see them stopping. Like, oh, this was a good idea. Let's make this ready to run now. TLR and more linking, and then it's just some brand no one cares about anymore in the racing world.
I never looked at it like that, though. So that's a great perspective, though. I mean, they've done it before. Yeah. But I kind of look at it like, hey, we want to get these guys, the bashers that have these, to race.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe
mean,
this, maybe this is an option for him. Maybe it's cheaper. We just had this
yeah,
conversation
in
last week.
a perfect world, that's what they are doing, and that's what they will succeed in doing. I just don't see it happening. Like that, this would be a way to get more people into racing, and that's sort of the end result. But I don't see that. I
If
just
this
don't
buggy,
see that happening.
if this buggy could be like we talked about the Serpent car, which somebody said in the comments actually said that the Serpent car isn't as good as it claims to be. The ready to run. I don't know. If this is like a ready to race type of car, maybe, because let me tell you, the armor's big. Like, you know what I mean? In the bashing world, like these guys love these armor cars. You know what I mean? They're cheaper. They're popular. They're almost like race ready. They ain't that far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is this armor getting into racing? I don't know.
No.
Is this no? It kind of like, now that you said what you said about what they did to Losi and all that type of stuff, I hope they don't do this to the TLR brand. I don't think that's the intention, because they've worked hard to build up the TLR brand again. You know what I
would
mean?
not be surprised. Look at okay, so I'm interested to see what happens with Proline and AKA.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to just turn Proline fully into some Losi style thing, like it used to be racing and now it's just bashing, and then AKA is their race tire brand? Like, are they going to do that, or do they keep both but they start manufacturing both in the same place and the compounds are the same even though they say that they're different? Like, what's going to happen there? I'm really curious to see what they do.
It's interesting. Like, maybe it was just cheap, or maybe they found some low-C parts that worked and they just said, hey, we can put this with this car. Maybe.
No, it's not.
Maybe.
No, they planned that we are going to do this. It's not like, it fits. No,
Maybe they'll offer like an upgrade kit. Hey, do you want to race your Typhoon? Here's the upgrade. I don't. I'm just saying. I'm thinking out of the box here. I'm being positive here.
The more that it's directed towards getting bashers racing, the better. But I just don't see.
Well, I hope they do
that thinking.
Horizon
results.
I hope you guys are making this so you can get more bashers into RC. You want somebody to bash the crap out of this and race it and try it out and see if it works? Send it to me. But I actually am on a positive note here. I'm actually for anything that helps get more people racing. So maybe this guy who has all these armor parts, maybe he has a bunch of armor parts. He has one of these cars, right? It's like, hey, I can get this car and I can use parts of my other car and I could go racing. And then he'll be like, well, I want a real TLR now. I want a real whatever car or something like that. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, the best would actually be that Traxxas, Arma, these kind of big entry-level first RC car bashing brands, if they make entry-level racing products, that would be the best, because they already have a massive audience and a lot of people running their stuff. So if they then make a car that's a nice, smooth entry into the racing world, and it's good enough to race, and they have all the supportive information and stuff that you need when you start racing, if they make that transition from bashing to racing easier, the barriers to entry lower, that's great. But I just don't see them doing that, because it takes more than just putting shock towers with a TLR logo on them and promoting it on social media. It takes more than that. And I don't think that there's someone there that cares enough to go that extra mile to make that happen. That's kind of my point.
I don't know, man.
I've seen this before. Yes, it would be great if that's the case. That let's make the transition from bashing to racing smoother. Let's use Arma to promote racing by making an entry-level racing car. Let's link it a bit to TLR so people get the point. Let's work on this. There's like a bigger project and a plan behind this. So we are pushing the racing so that some of the bashers will pick up racing. Like, if this is the big plan, I support it 100%. But I'm just very skeptical. I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay. I can respect that, because it's happened before. So yeah, I can respect that. I actually thought we was gonna have a heated argument with this, but I mean, we kind of agree with each other. It's like we're gonna just wait and see what happens. I just think it's odd. Like I just think it's odd. Like why wouldn't you just like upgrade your TLR ready to run or something? Or is this just like who knows? Like I need to get all these new parts. They're probably counting on like somebody saying, I can upgrade my Typhoon to this and make it race ready or something like that. Who knows? Maybe they are trying to, maybe someone's listening to what people are saying. Maybe somebody listened to this podcast and said, hey, these guys have a point. We need to figure out how to get more bashers into racing. I am being positive about this. If this helps get more of these guys that are out there bashing, more of these guys who are asking these type of questions that are very easy in these Facebook groups and all this type of stuff, if this gets these guys to a track, like, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Maybe we have a class just for these cars. I know we don't need more class.
Yes. This so in full scale racing, there are these. They're usually national classes, right? But costs are limited very much, and in there actually, this is not something we need to do in RC, but the way they make sure that people don't spend too much money and time is the race winner's car is auctioned off. So when you win, you lose your car, like someone buys it off you for, I think it's even, I don't know now. Do they fix the pricing or something? Or it's like,
what's the reason for that?
The reason is that you do not spend too much money on it because you know that someone will buy it from you.
Yeah.
So it becomes this thing where you are running basically relatively stock cars. You do the basic modifications for racing, and then you race. You aren't doing all kinds of expensive things to the car because that money is just going to go to waste, because then you have to sell and trade and whatever to depending on how you do in the racing, But the point is that it's a way to keep costs down, but the racing is still fun and competitive, right? So we have failed every time in RC to come up with a class where there are some sort of rules to make the class an entry level or stock class, but it always becomes this thing where people are buying all these expensive option parts and tires and pink plastic pinions and slipper eliminators and all this stuff, right? Gears that are half the size because less rolling resistance. And like, what the fuck? Like, we should have a class where it's just
like this type of stuff.
You race, run what you brung kind of thing.
Well, stock slash, that's it. They do that.
Yeah,
they
like
have stock slash
there are specific cars that are allowed, right? And these are the cars, like, let's say this Arma racing car would be one of them, right? And other manufacturers could have similar cars. Like, they have a stock standard spec, and that's what you race, So the idea is that you can get into racing at a low price and or lower cost, and you can be competitive, and you don't have this need to buy titanium this and aluminium that and this, and you don't need all that, and you don't need the knowledge about that. You have a car, it's relatively equal to all the other guys there, and you race each other. That's it. And it should stay that way. And there's no sandbagging. It's just for the new people and hobby drivers, We need that. So
yeah, we do.
If manufacturers made these kind of cars that are good enough to race, and there was actually a class for them, that would be a really good thing. But this kind of thing can only really happen if there is a federation that cares enough and works with manufacturers to set this up. Because the only way to have sort of consistent rules is when a federation says, like, hey, these are the rules. This is the idea. This is our project of growing RC racing. This is like a standard class for entry level. This is a standard class for new people to lower the barriers of entry into racing. This is the spec of the cars that's allowed. And this is the price level of the cars. And we will approve cars that are allowed in this class, right? Then the manufacturers make those cars, and then boom, there's a racing class. That's the only way it can be done. It's not like one race organizer or one club can. No, it needs to be something global, preferably, right? Global. Why do we all race the same size and weight 8-scale buggies? It's because we have a global federation that set the rules. So it works. Everyone's on the same page. All manufacturers make the various different cars to the same spec because we have that rule. So we need to have this happen for an entry-level class. And I'm not saying it's 8-scale nitro off-road. I'm just saying, like, even if we have that for that popular racing classes around the world, there should also be something that, I don't know what the most attractive class would be for new people, but that should be something that exists also. You know?
It's like Stock Slash, man. Stock Slash.
Yeah, that's a good example. That's a good example.
But I think we need something like this. Like this could be, I think these cars can run indoors. Maybe don't just run them on 4S, nothing on, just have like little rules like that, like 4S.
The Slash is a good example, but where it went wrong was that there was no federation that stepped in and said, hey, this is awesome for RC racing, and we've come up with this new set of rules, and this class is for new drivers. It's an entry-level class. There's no professionals running in national championships for this. And there are, certain cars that are approved and you can run in the races with them, and you can't modify them and add all tons of option parts and stuff like that.
Well, can I counter to that?
A class like that.
Can I counter to that? I actually brought up this argument on a live, and Brian Nunez, who actually is in charge of LOSI and all that stuff, like you just talked about, he actually broke it down for me, and he was on the podcast, and he said it was Roar that actually started the whole demise of short course by actually making it a national level competition, and like it kind of took it from being that club level, run what you brung, Stock Slash.
Yeah, because it became a national championship.
Right, because Raw made it a national championship.
I know.
And that's where the whole stock thing came in, and then but then that's where Raw makes its money too, because it has to approve bodies, it has to approve motors and all that type of stuff. But in turn, it ruined such a great class. You know what I mean? Such a great class for beginners, and I think that's where it should stay. I'm not saying that Associated and LOSI shouldn't make short course trucks if they want to make them. But I think at the root, like that's where it should, like that class brought so many people into RC. Like, we haven't had one of those classes since then. That's the problem. How many people did Slash and short course bring into RC? So many. It's like T-Max. T-Max brought in a lot of people. We are desperately needing that class. Maybe this can be it. Maybe. Anyway, this guy's for editing. Let me mute him. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What you guys think? I know a lot of people can be like anti-Horizon and whatnot. That's fine. I'm kind of on the bubble with it. I kind of accept corporate sometimes. So that's just my opinion on stuff like that. So, but it doesn't really mean much. So let us know what you guys think. And post in the comments and whatnot. Josie, I think that's it. I thought we was going to get in a big rant over that, but we didn't. We kind of agree on things. So it wasn't really a rant. It was more like just addressing that there. Joseph, I think that's it for us this week. I want to thank you for your time. Get back to editing, dude.
You went over your time limit.
I know. He gave me an hour, everybody. This guy, fucking.
I'm going to charge you.
I'm going to pay you.
I'm just going to take it out of your salary.
You know what? I'm going to pay you. Pay you no mind. Anyway, it was good chatting to you, man. Go get some sleep. You look terrible. You'll be in Spain soon. You'll be in Spain, and you'll be down here, and you'll be like, it's too hot here. And it's beautiful.
It's gonna be nice to travel. Hopefully it all works out.
Yeah, it will. Just don't mess
It's so weird. The last 1.5 years, I've done 5 races, 5 Finnish nationals, right? That's insane. And then before that, so
You
one
wouldn't be
1
home
year
much.
and 8 months ago, it was DNC.
Yeah, it was.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah,
That is insane.
it's crazy, isn't it?
I can't
Crazy.
wait to get back to it. Actually travel, do some racing.
Yeah, it's gonna be good
it's
to
gonna
have
be
you on
fun.
here. We're gonna revamp the podcast and all that good stuff. Hopefully, it works out. Then we're gonna sneak you into America some way.
Yeah,
And,
as of right now, if I spend 3 weeks in the DR, I can enter America.
there you go. Here you go. All right. Well, I think that's all for this week, Joseph. Thank you to Ryan Pavidis for his time for coming on. I appreciate it. He's doing a good job. He's had a really good year this year, and I expect big things from him next year. Thank you to you, Joseph, for your time. I know you've been busy, man. Thank you for coming in and doing this for us. Thank you to all that listen and share this and support us, the hashtag NNRC squad all around the world. Can't do it without you guys. Thank you for the love. We love you like life. And thank you to the patrons of the podcast. They go the extra mile. They help us out a lot. And I think I'm doing a live next week. I forgot to talk about this. Oh boy. These came. So they're sticking. They're all stuck together. But basically, these are supposed to be like the world's sourest candy. Right? So next week, I'm putting my life on the line again and doing a food challenge to raise money for a good cause. So let's get those wallets out and get those things going, everybody. As I'm gonna try, the money goes to cancer. It's for Joe
giving
Bain.
you cancer. That's it.
It's not giving me cancer. Blooming Prairie RC is having their paint the track pink race this week. You can go to the GoFundMe. I will put it in the link of this podcast. But join me next week. Probably my buddy RC Kevin. We might have a special guest as well. Our first live in a long time. We're gonna talk RC, and I'm gonna try and eat as many of these as I can, or put as many as I can in my mouth at one time. If I die, it was for a good cause. Just make sure you guys, if you guys give super chats and all that stuff, or go right to GoFund, we're gonna raise some money and kick cancer's ass somehow, some way. Thank you to all the awesome sponsors of the podcast. Remember, everybody, showing the sponsors some love shows the podcast some love, and they are Mayako, Beach RC, TNR Fuels, Hitec RCD, Tekno RC, Sun City RC Raceway, Lugs Racing Tires, Manscaped.com, Pop Bobili's Traction Tonic, Donathan RC, Racecraft USA, House of RC, JQ Racing, RCGP, and just any other company out there. I want to shout out to SMC. They helped me out with some batteries here. I'm going to show you guys. These are some badass batteries. But yeah, they helped me out. I'll talk more about that in another time in Operation 115. And everybody's hearing me. This one, Operation 115. I will reveal. All will be revealed. Do not worry.
When are you
JQ.
doing that?
When I get everything. Right now, I'm waiting for a radio, and I am like on the cusp of blowing this people up. Like I ordered something from Hobby King, and it's been stuck in Miami for like 3 weeks, and nobody wants to. It's like literally 5 minutes from where it's supposed to go, and nobody wants to take it there. So I'm getting a little bit upset. I'll talk more about that. Joseph, we're out, man. Thank you for your time. Remember, everybody, links to all of our socials, our YouTube channel. Please, if you haven't gone to our YouTube channel, go check it out. We want to get up to 1,500 subs or 2,000 subs by the end of the year. We're at like 1,400. So please, if you like this podcast, you listen to this podcast, you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, go to our YouTube, hit that that notification, and like or dislike button. Leave a comment. Also, if you listen to this, leave a review of the podcast. It helps us out. It helps us get in these algorithms. We want to get in the algorithm even more. You know what? I want to say something because I got a lot of shit this week. Not this week, but yesterday. So one guy. So I posted the thing from Born a Crime when you message to him about not running stock and how he was saying he did it for Mexico. The guy goes, "He's not Mexican." I said, "Oh, he's Mexican American." No, he's not. I said, "Well, his parents of Mexican heritage." He says his like. Born a crime, you did it. You did it from Mexico, buddy. Congratulations. Hey, you know what?
The whole Born a Crime thing came about because we pitted next to each other at some races, and then I basically deduced that he is illegal. He's just an illegal human being, you know. So he was born a crime.
You know what? That dude needs to be running nitro at DNC. I told him already.
It would be cool.
I told him already. We're gonna kidnap him in a positive, good way. Like, you know what I mean?
He runs we're gonna kidnap him in a positive, good way.
Good way.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna take him to like Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
With his nitro stuff. He says he needs a nitro car. So hey, Associated, get this man a nitro car because he wants to run nitro. We're gonna kidnap him in a positive, good way.
Yeah.
Take him to Santa Barbara for a weekend and make him just burn gallons of nitro so he's ready for DNC. Even though he doesn't run the car that we represent, we just want to see him run nitro. So you heard that, Born a Crime?
Wait, did you say that he is actually going to race nitro?
No, he keeps saying he wants to run. He says, "Oh, I'll run nitro." I think I'm trying to tell him that he doesn't want to be just a 10 scale only racer. He wants to be he wants to be eclectic.
Yeah, he needs to run nitro for sure.
Nitro. So I like every time I talk to him, like, you're gonna run nitro at DNC. So when we come to California, if things go right, we're just gonna pull up, kidnap you in a positive, good way. Like, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take you and we're gonna make you burn nitro 2 gallons. 2 gallons of nitro one day. That's what we're gonna do. Congratulations, Born a Crime.
That's quite a lot. I don't think that's possible.
Okay, 1 gallon. 2 gallons in 1 weekend.
Should be possible.
2 gallons in 1 weekend. We'll go Saturday and Sunday.
That will be also hard. I think 1 gallon even 1 gallon a weekend it's good.
No, but we need to get him up to pace. So he's got to do 2.
A gallon a day is really hard to do. It's possible, but
we'll blindfold him and tell him to drive just by our signs. And hey, we're gonna blindfold you. This is the way. This is the way. You have to listen to your car, and we'll tell you which direction. I'm only joking. I'm talking shit. Anyway, I can't wait to get to California and have fun. But he doesn't. Hey, I'm making a thing. Hashtag Born a Crime needs to run nitro at DNC. It's a long hashtag. But anyway, I like him though. It's fun.
You always have long hashtags.
Hey, at least he plays along and he likes it. It's cool. Joseph, that's it for this week. We went over by 40 minutes. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. We never have short conclusions. Remember, hit up our sponsors. If you wish to be a patron, check it out. Don't forget Invisible Speeds dropping 20th September.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if JQ finishes editing. Right now, he looks like a mental patient. Look at that, you know. But yeah, you're nuts, man. You're nuts. I gotta go, dude. You know what? Nitro is the glory. E-Buggy pays the bills. Thank you all for the support. We love you like life. NNRC squad. Joseph, anything to say before we sign out of here?
Please get the fucking online course so I can at least make a few dollars off this thing. How about that?
Get the online course or Joseph is going to be in an insane asylum.
I'm gonna suicide myself.
No, he's not. He's going to be in an insane asylum. Anyway, thank you for your time, Joseph. I'll talk to you next week or maybe later. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the No Name RC podcast. We greatly appreciate all the support and love from you, the listeners. Without all of you, none of this is possible. Special thanks to our patrons on Patreon. If you wish to support the podcast further, you can at patreon.com/NNRC podcast. As a patron, you will receive early releases, special content, and patron-only giveaways. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, www.nnrcpodcast.com. Remember, Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. If you aren't having fun, it doesn't make sense. And if you ain't grinding, you're sliding lefty out. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory.
That wasn't so bad.